God King of all realms, starting by summoning an angel. Welcome back, brave explorers of impossible worlds. We are excited to have you here to continue this odyssey together. Before we continue, everything you'll hear is pure fiction. So please don't try to replicate combat techniques at home. This wonderful story in all its rights belong to its brilliant original author. We are only the messengers of entertainment. Want another dose of adventure? Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a single chapter. And if you can't wait, our Patreon has exclusive surprises you'll love. Chapter 126. The blood of more than 13,000 corpses gathered and was swallowed by the blood-colored sword, and then transformed into pure blood power and poured into Gladys' body. The intensity of the magic power fluctuations emanating from Gladys' body began to surge again. Although most of them were low-quality blood power, they were in large quantities, so they easily helped Gladys achieve a breakthrough in level. In a flash, Gladys's aura increased by more than 10 times. Dark elements, blood elements, etc. hidden between heaven and earth also poured into Gladys' body. And it was continuous. Being able to automatically absorb the magic power of the adapted elements in the air is one of the signs of transcendence. And local professionals who are generally below the level of transcendence need to use special meditation methods to absorb the elemental magic power in the air into their bodies. In other words, Daedalus has been promoted to transcendence. However, there is no trace of joy on her delicate face. As calm as ever. Compared to the divine power I once mastered, my current power is still as weak as an ant, still need to keep working hard. While talking to herself, Gladys shook the 3 pairs of black wings behind her and disappeared instantly. When she reappeared, she was already a bloody figure on the horizon. As for the corpses in the ruins, they turned into mummies. Coupled with the purification of the holy light, they are no longer qualified to become undead. Even if the legendary Lich comes, he will have to stare blankly. Here in the territory, a beautiful figure descended from the sky. It was Angelica, the 6-winged angel. She returned to the territory alone and handed the Skeleton King's belt, containing the spoils to Lin Yu. Lin Yu took the belt and tied it on himself. According to the rules of the floating island, only the equipment you wear can be used. For example, Skeleton King's belt needs to be equipped on yourself before you can connect your consciousness to it and check the inner space inside. At the same time, it also restricts other professionals from peeping. Good harvest. Looking at the mountains of resources in the space, Lin Yu's gradually handsome face showed a smile. Although there are not many gold coins, there are only more than 7,800. But don't forget that there are only more than 13,000 two-headed demons in the entire two-headed demon tribe. It is very good to have such an explosion rate. As for the various resources, they are huge. There are more than 500,000 units of food alone. The 3 basic resources of wood, stone, and iron ore add up to more than 700,000 units. In addition, there are a large number of monster materials and metal materials that can be used to make equipment. My warehouse can't hold so many resources. Lin Yu's territory warehouse has been upgraded to a high level, but there are only 1 million units of reserves, which is not enough to hold nearly 1.3 million units of various resources. This is commonly known as a warehouse explosion. Put these resources in the Skeleton King's belt for the time being. Take them out when you need them. Lin Yu only took out the monster materials, metal materials, gold coins, equipment, blueprints and other spoils. He stored the monster materials and metal materials in the warehouse separately. In this way, the blacksmith shop can take them whenever they are needed. The blacksmith shop consumes a lot of monster materials and metal materials to make equipment. Especially now, Lin Yu's blacksmith shop has been upgraded to the intermediate level and can forge about 900 pieces of equipment every day, consuming a lot of monster materials and metal materials. However, so far, there is no shortage of these 2 materials. On the contrary, there is a surplus, because his acquisition speed is faster than the consumption speed. When the blacksmith shop is upgraded to the advanced or even higher level in the future, when thousands or tens of thousands of equipment are forged every day, the reserve of monster materials and metal materials may become increasingly scarce. Add the remaining 600 gold coins I had before, I now have more than 8,400 gold coins, just enough to summon 3 full-scale angel teams. Lin Yu did not hesitate and immediately communicated with floating island of 10,000 worlds. With his mind, opened the summoning black hole. Soon, more than 100 beautiful angels emitting holy light flew out of the black hole. The 4 winged angels leading the 3 angel teams were 2 war-type 4 winged angels and 1 magic-type 4 winged archangel. I don't know if it's because of the favor of the goddess of luck. Lin Yu felt that the probability of summoning 4 winged archangels has been rising sharply in the past 2 days. Yesterday he summoned 4 winged archangels. Today he summoned another 1. Now, there are 7 4-winged archangels in his territory. There is also a 6-winged archangel. All of them master the magic of faith. If the enemy this time was not the 2-headed demon. With the ability of the 6-winged archangel Elena and several 4-winged archangels, a few waves of faith magic can bring him at least 10,000 believers. Now, I have a total of 40 fully staffed angel teams under my command. There are more than 2,000 angels. You can summon another 6-winged angel. Lin Yu did not summon immediately because he did not have enough gold coins. He only had more than 300 gold coins left. Lin Yu first put all the more than 60 pieces of equipment he had obtained on the island trading platform, and then dealt with the remaining more than 30 drawings. The largest number of wooden house drawings and arrow tower drawings were all built. 3 fence drawings and 1 warehouse drawing were also found, which were also put on the shelves for sale one by one. The last thing left is the gold-level stronghold treasure chest obtained after destroying the 2-headed demon tribe. I wonder what I can get this time. Lin Yu took a deep breath. Every time he opened a treasure chest, he was full of expectations. Just like opening a scratch card, he always wanted to win the jackpot. The difference is that even if you are unlucky, you can get something by opening a treasure chest. Scratch tickets are different. For that stuff, even the most European people have to ask for the blessing of the gods and Buddhas. As the treasure chest was opened, dazzling golden light suddenly emerged from the treasure chest. The information prompt from Floating Island of 10,000 Worlds also appeared in Lin Yu's mind. Congratulations, Lord Lin Yu. You successfully opened a gold-level stronghold treasure chest. You obtained 10,000 units of food, wood, stone, and iron ore each. You obtained 3,000 gold coins. You obtained a territory building upgrade blueprint. Intermediate. You obtained a staff with no attributes. You obtained 500 points of glory and 3,000 points of reputation. I knew that the goddess of luck and I are in the same camp. Lin Yu grinned. Just an intermediate, Lord building upgrade blueprint, made him a big profit. This blueprint can help him save a lot of gold coins. At this time, the 6-winged angel Angelia, who had been standing quietly by the side, suddenly said, My lord, the goddess of luck is not in the same camp as us. She is a deity of the neutral camp and has a good relationship with the goddess of nature and elves. In the battlefield of all realms, there are not many gods in the same camp as our angel clan. The more famous ones are only the goddess of light, the goddess of moonlight and hunting, the goddess of sun radiance, the goddess of judgment and judgment, etc. Lin Yu. Chapter 127. The old man was very happy. Lin Yu was talking about the duties of several goddesses. In the end, he found that he didn't recognize any of them. The goddess of light, on the other hand, is often seen in the world background of Western fantasy novels. She is usually the big boss behind the light forces such as the Church of Light, and she is often the villain. The righteous side is the dark goddess who has been whipped by the goddess of light. If the plot continues like this, aren't the angels also villains? And as the god of faith of the angels, he is the villain among villains. Lin Yu said with emotion, It seems that there will be a war of gods in the future battlefield of the 10,000 worlds, and the opposing camps of gods will fight each other. My lord is wise, Angelia complimented immediately. Lin Yu suddenly asked, If I mention the priesthood of the goddess of luck, will she sense it? He had seen in a novel that a powerful god could sense across time and space by being called by his priesthood or real name. Although this is reality, we have to be vigilant. After all, they are not in the same camp. Angelia lowered her head slightly and said respectfully, My lord, don't worry. The goddess of luck is far from being strong enough to sense you. Then I'm relieved. Lin Yu didn't think about it anymore and continued to check his gains. First is the territory building upgrade blueprint. Lin Yu also got one before, which was used to upgrade the spiritual field. The difference is that the territory building upgrade blueprint is a low-level blueprint, and the one he opened now is a mid-level blueprint. The conditions for use have also become, you can upgrade the level of territory buildings that have been upgraded less than 5 times, the low-level blueprint is 3 times. The spiritual field in my territory is level 4, after upgrading it 3 times, I can use this blueprint. However, the cost effectiveness is obviously not as high as upgrading the Dark Elf Mother Tree. Even if I upgrade the spiritual field to level 5 first and then use this blueprint, the gold coin saved will not be as much as upgrading the Dark Elf Mother Tree. It takes 50,000 gold coins to upgrade the Dark Elf Mother Tree now. In other words, using this territory building upgrade blueprint on the Dark Elf Mother Tree can save him a full 50,000 gold coins. What is the concept of 50,000 gold coins? With a few thousand more gold coins, he can summon 2 small angel legions. Now, one blueprint can do it. Isn't it a big profit? Then, Lin Yu took out a staff from a pile of items. According to the explanation of Floating Island of 10,000 Worlds, this is a staff without attributes. Its information is also presented in Lin Yu's vision. Staff, unnamed, no attributes, type, attack equipment, attack level, king level, durability. 100, special effects, none, introduction. This is a powerful staff made of special materials, but due to unexpected incidents during the forging process, the forging failed and became a semi-finished product. Special reminder, you can find a skilled blacksmith to recast it. Looking at the information of the staff in his hand, Lin Yu was surprised. A semi-finished staff that failed to be forged turned out to be a king-level equipment. Once it is successfully forged, wouldn't it be at least a superb level of equipment? Angelica, who was standing aside, also cast her eyes over, and after a closer look, she said, "My lord, the material used to forge this staff comes from a sanctuary-level dragon. If it can be repaired, it can still be barely used at this stage." Sanctuary dragon. Lin Yu's eyes showed a hint of surprise. At present, he has not even touched extraordinary items or creatures. Not to mention the holy level. That is a powerful existence that controls the power of the domain. I believe that even in the giant kingdom, the holy professional is the top powerhouse. Lin Yu turned his head to look at the elegant and noble Angelica and asked, "Do you think that with the skills of the Dark Elf Nicole, can she repair this staff?" She is a high-level blacksmith, infinitely close to the master level. Very difficult. Angelica shook her head. Unless she really enters the realm of a master blacksmith, it is basically impossible to repair this staff. And even if she becomes a master blacksmith, there is a certain probability of failure. Then put it away first. Let's talk about it after Nicole becomes a master blacksmith. Lin Yu put the staff into the warehouse, together with a fire element magic gem he had obtained earlier. When Nicole is sure to repair the staff, he plans to embed the fire element magic gem together. At that time, it will surely increase the power of his advanced magic, fire dragon technique, by multiples. The treasure chest also opened 3,000 gold coins, and 500 points of honor and 3,000 points of reputation. While speaking, Lin Yu glanced at his personal information. First of all, his level has been promoted to the middle stage of level 8. Then, glory points and reputation points have reached 2,000 points and 12,500 points respectively. With 2,000 points of glory points, you can directly exchange the semi-artifact, time and space ring, in the glory item menu. However, Lin Yu is not ready to exchange it now, because he is more interested in the artifact called Curse of the Lich King. It goes without saying that as an artifact, Curse of the Lich King is naturally much better than time and space ring. Lin Yu is ready to collect 5,000 points of glory points to exchange it. If something unexpected happens in the middle, it will result in not being able to collect enough glory points before the glory item menu is refreshed. Lin Yu will choose to settle for the next best thing. Don't worry, there are still 9 days before the item is refreshed and the exchange price skyrocketed. During this period, I can collect more glory points, try to take down the Lich King's curse, or other more powerful artifacts, in one fell swoop. Finally, the most important thing. Summon the six-winged angel. Without hesitation, Lin Yu immediately communicated with a floating island and started to summon the black hole. A moment later, a white starlight appeared in the center of the black hole. As the distance approached, a holy and beautiful figure gradually emerged in the white starlight. Lin Yu's breathing was slightly quickened. It's not a fallen angel, but it seems that it's not an angel of the Orthodox faction either. A moment later, a holy figure flew out of the black hole. She was wearing a simple white gold armor, and her slender right hand was holding a purple gold giant hammer. Lightning could be clearly seen flashing on the surface of the giant hammer. There were also 3 pairs of snow-white angel wings behind her. This six-winged angel had big golden wavy hair. slim waist, plump hips, and high peaks. Her skin was white and tender, and there was golden light in her eyes. The overall look was beautiful. Holding the purple gold giant hammer, she had a kind of power and beauty that was different from other holy angels. Praise you, the great Lord of Holy Light. Under Lin Yu's gaze, this unique six-winged angel stepped forward, put down the purple gold giant hammer in his hand, and saluted him respectfully. It is my honor to be summoned by you. Well, Lin Yu nodded slightly. Then he checked the information of this six-winged angel, type, craftsman, initial level, level 9, growth potential, lower true god, possessed combat skills, holy wall, faith judgment, lightning strike, introduction. Craftsman angels are special angels. They do not belong to any faction, but they also have firm beliefs and loyalty to the Creator. Special angels of the craftsman type. Lin Yu's surprised expression revealed a hint of doubt. The surprise was that he finally summoned a special angel. The doubt was that he did not understand what the specific functions of the craftsman angel were. Build a house? Make craft decorations? Or make equipment? Lin Yu looked up at the craftsman angel with a thin waist and a plump buttocks, and asked directly, "What is your ability?" Chapter 128. The young man was so handsome that he could not help but smile. Facing Lin Yu, the craftsman angel lowered his head humbly. Her big golden wavy hair fell on her shoulders, and the platinum light armor could only cover 2/3 of her peak, revealing her snow-white neck and bottomless ravines. It looked more like a uniform than a battle armor. On her neck, she wore a string of purple gemstone necklaces, which were bright and dazzling. The craftsman angel said solemnly, reporting to the great Lord of Holy Light, "My main job is to build a majestic temple and a sacred temple for you. In addition, I can also build powerful war weapons for your angel legion." Lin Yu was a little disappointed after hearing the first half. At this stage, he was not interested in the so-called temple. Those things are all external things. Strengthening the strength of the territory is the most important thing. The second half of the artisan angel's words immediately surprised Lin Yu. "Can you build war weapons?" Lin Yu immediately asked. "What kind of war weapons are they? Is it a magic cannon mounted on the city wall? Or is it similar to the rumored goblin airship?" The goblin airship is not a product of technology. It is a magical machine from the extraordinary world, driven by magic materials such as elemental gems. It is said that the goblin airship is also equipped with a large number of magic cannons, which is a big killer on the battlefield. This information was accidentally seen by Lin Yu on the professional forum of Blue Star. Some time ago, he also took the time to ask the goblin believers in the territory whether they would build the legendary goblin airship. However, the result was regrettable. The goblin believers said in great panic that they were just a small goblin tribe and did not inherit the great technology of building goblin airships. Only in the Goblin Kingdom can there be such a thing. As for the location of the Goblin Kingdom, it is not on the Dark Forest, but on the Lunkel Prairie next door. That is the base camp of the Goblin clan. Goblin airship. The big wave artisan angel was stunned for a moment, and then said respectfully, "Great Lord of Holy Light, we artisan angels build a war fortress, Angel City, that is a war city that can fly at an altitude of 100,000 meters. On the four walls, there are a large number of sacred magic cannons and various war equipment. Angel City, whether in terms of craftsmanship or war power, is far beyond the reach of goblin airships. In front of Angel City, no matter how high the level of goblin airships is, they are no different from paper. In short, compared with Angel City, goblin airships are garbage." After hearing what the artisan angel said, Lin Yu realized how powerful their special angels are. Well, it can't be said to be powerful. Rather, the importance of the artisan angel is irreplaceable. Lin Yu could hardly suppress his excitement and asked, "Can you build the Angel City now?" The artisan angel said respectfully, reporting to the Lord of Holy Light, "I need at least 300 assistants, 500,000 units of stone, 200,000 units of iron ore, and a variety of magic materials. Everything is ready. I can build an Angel City for you within 10 days. Hearing this, Lin Yu frowned slightly. The matter of assistance is easy to say. Not to mention 3,000 is no problem. The key is the materials. He roughly calculated. In his territory warehouse, there are 230,000 units of stone and 140,000 units of iron ore. In Angelia's space equipment, There are about 170,000 units of stone and 110,000 units of iron ore. The total is 400,000 units of stone and 250,000 units of iron ore. Iron ore is enough. But there is still a shortage of 100,000 units of stone. As for the magic materials needed by the artisan angels, in the warehouse, there are a lot of monster materials and metal materials. But whether there are magic materials needed to build the angel city can only be found by the artisan angels themselves. Lin Yu said to Angelica beside him, "Take out the stones and iron ore in the belt later. If the warehouse can't hold them, pile them in the square. In addition, we are still short of 100,000 units of stone. During this period, the Angel Legion must try to capture more local strongholds as much as possible, so as not to delay the construction of the Angel City." "Yes, my lord," Angelica obeyed respectfully. Lin Yu again he said to the craftsman angel, "From now on, your name is Carol. You can use any materials in the territory warehouse. Building the Angel City is your only task." "Yes, great lord of holy light." The craftsman angel Carol was very excited to be named and said, "It is Carol's honor to serve you." Lin Yu nodded slightly and asked, "Can you build and repair equipment?" If Carol has this ability, then it will be easy to recast the non-attribute staff. However, the craftsman angel Carol shook his head and said, "Reporting to the Holy Lord, generally speaking, the equipment of the angel army is created by the angel reincarnation pool. Angel suits have the properties of growth, evolution, and self-repair. Therefore, our angel clan does not need too many blacksmiths. Even if there are special equipment that needs to be made, that is the function of the casting angels. Their number is extremely rare, but their skills are superb. There are top casting angels who can even make the main artifact. As for our craftsmen angels, the main function is to build temples and build the city of angels." "I know." Lin Yu was not disappointed at all. "It is already awesome enough that the craftsmen angels can build the city of angels. Why think about repairing equipment?" Lin Yu looked at the golden waves of the craftsman angel Carol in front of him, his eyes became softer, and he smiled and said, "The elves born from the dark elf mother tree are your assistants. You can assign them at will. Just tell me what you need. I will definitely satisfy you. I only have one request, and I must build the angel city for me within 10 days. He will let the angel corps collect the missing 100,000 units of stone and the required magic materials as soon as possible, so as not to delay the construction of Angel City." "Yes, great lord of holy light, thank you for your trust. Carol will not let you down." The craftsman angel Carol saluted respectfully with a solemn expression. Lin Yu nodded and said, "Then you go down first and start work immediately." "Yes, lord." Carol will take her leave. The beautiful craftsman angel saluted again, and then left the lord's hall with her purple gold giant hammer. "Come outside." The craftsman angel Carol summoned a group of dark elves at the first opportunity. These dark elves were all bred by the dark elf mother tree. From yesterday to now, the dark elf mother tree has bred nearly 400 dark elves, all of whom are wearing extremely cool green leaf woven skirts, with their long, wide and straight legs exposed. Because they have no equipment, Lin Yu did not send them out to hunt wild monsters. Lin Yu plans to wait until the level of the blacksmith shop is upgraded to a high level, when thousands or tens of thousands of equipment can be forged every day, and then arm these dark elves. As for now, all the equipment produced by the blacksmith shop must be sold. Exchange for gold coins to expand the size of the angel army. "Follow me." The craftsman angel Carol walked straight to the northeastern area of the territory. There is a large open space there, which can be used as a temporary base for building the Angel Land. A group of tall and beautiful dark elves also hurriedly followed. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 129. The area of the open space is very large. Both the length and width are more than 10,000 meters. There are no territory buildings nearby. In Lin Yu's territory, the most numerous buildings are wooden houses, which have increased to more than 800, and all are concentrated in the west and south of the territory. A small angel city, 8,000 meters long and wide, and 500 meters high. It's just right to start construction in this area. Craftsman Angel Carol looked at the large open space in front of him and nodded with satisfaction. The area is large enough. The terrain is also very flat. It's suitable to build Angel City here. Without hesitation, The craftsman Angel Carol walked straight to the center of the open space, then raised the purple gold giant hammer in his hand and smashed it down to the ground. Accompanied by a loud bang, the open space within a radius of 10,000 meters suddenly trembled. In the distance, the 200-meter-high dark elf mother tree was also affected and kept shaking. As for the hundreds of dark elves, because the distance was too close, they were all shaken to the ground and almost sat on the ground. What is the Holy Envoy doing? I don't know, but it looks like he is building something. The dark elves talked about it. Pairs of dark red eyes were also staring at the craftsman Angel Carol, who was holding the purple gold giant hammer and hammering the ground. As the purple gold giant hammer continued to hammer, golden lines emitting mysterious power gradually appeared on the ground. These golden lines extended in all directions at a speed visible to the naked eye, and some even turned vertically and rose into the air. After a long time, the open space within 8,000 meters was completely wrapped in golden lines. Countless golden lines crisscrossed and intertwined on the ground and in the sky, and actually outlined a three-dimensional illusory image of a city. In the center of the city, there stood a tall statue. The statue was a woman. There were 6 pairs of 12 angel wings on her back. It was a 12-winged angel. This round of hammering lasted until the afternoon. It stopped until the craftsman Angel Carol could no longer support herself, and her beautiful cheeks turned slightly pale. Carol panted lightly. Her wide and towering chest rose and fell. Sure enough, I can only barely build a small angel city with my own strength. To build a medium-sized angel city, at least 50 craftsman angels must cooperate with each other. Carol wiped the sweat from her forehead. After a short rest, she began to instruct the dark elves to move the stones and iron ore from the warehouse and place them in the locations she specified. As a large number of stones and iron ore were put in, the countless golden lines that outlined the three-dimensional image of the city suddenly shone, and released a mysterious force, crushing and reorganizing all the stones and iron ore. Soon, pieces of standard-sized boulders appeared. They piled together, one piece connected to another, and gradually pieced together the foundation of the angel city. Of course, this is only the first step. Even after the main construction of the entire angel city is completed, it is also the first step. After that, the craftsman Angel Carol will also engrave the divine patterns of the angels on each stone to make the entire angel city a whole and give it various powerful powers. In short, building an angel city in 10 days is already very fast. After all, there is only one craftsman Angel Carol. If there are multiple craftsman angels working together, the time for building the city can be greatly shortened. Lord's Hall. Lin Yu raised his eyes and looked towards the northeast of the territory. In his eyes and expression, there was shock. Because the three-dimensional image of the angel city outlined by countless golden threads was hundreds of meters high, more than twice as high as the dark elf mother tree. This surprised him greatly. Lin Yu looked at Angelica, who was standing quietly beside him, and asked, "Are all angel cities so huge?" Reporting to my lord, Angelica replied respectfully, "The angel city built by Carol is 8 kilometers long and wide, with a wall height of 500 meters, equipped with 640 magic cannons and 80 magic cannons. The 12-winged angel statue in the city can also release the combat skill Sword of Holy Judgment." Hearing this, Lin Yu took a deep breath. A city was equipped with a total of 720 magic cannons. Even the angel statue could release terrifying attacks. It was armed to the teeth. It was indeed the war fortress of the angels. Lin Yu asked, "What level of professionals can such an angel city deal with?" Angelia replied, "The ordinary magic cannons installed in the angel city can kill extraordinary professionals, and the 80 magic cannons can kill holy professionals. The 12-winged angel statue can easily kill demigods. This small angel city, it is usually a weapon used by our angels to conquer the mortal plane." Lin Yu was stunned and said, "Is this just a small angel city?" "Yes, Angel City is one of the main war weapons of our angels to cross the border to conquer heretics," Angelia explained. "Medium-sized and large angel city are 100 to 10,000 times larger than this. The war force is so strong that it can kill true gods." Lin Yu's expression was shocked. He looked at a huge phantom standing in the northeast area of the territory. It is hard to imagine how big the large angel city, which is 10,000 times larger than this, is. And it can also kill true gods. It's simply invincible. Of course, let alone the large angel city, as long as he has a few small angel city, he can basically sweep across this floating island. After all, the highest combat power on the floating island is the demigod. and the 12-winged angel statue sitting in the small angel city can easily kill the demigod. If this is not sweeping invincibility, what is it? At this time, Angelica suddenly said to Lin Yu, but there is a small problem now. Although the angel city can absorb all kinds of energy between heaven and earth, it can only be used for daily consumption. If you want to deal with the war, you must provide additional energy. Lin Yu asked curiously, what energy source does the angel clan generally provide for the angel city? Angelica said, the Godstone, a crystal condensed by the original divine power, contains huge energy. Just one Godstone can allow a small angel city to go through many wars without running out of energy. The floating island is just a low-level plain world. The probability of producing Godstone is not high. Even if there is, it is deep in the center of the earth. Lin Yu frowned and said, is there no other way? Yes, Angelica said. My lord can use gold coins to provide the angel city with the energy needed for war. The gold coins of the floating island are made by the world laws here with the original power, and they are also a kind of solid energy. Lin Yu was stunned for a moment. Then he asked, how many gold coins will it cost? Angelica thought for a moment and said, a round of bombardment of the small angel city will cost about 3,000 gold coins. One shot costs 3,000. Lin Yu's mouth twitched slightly. Isn't this the rumor that a cannon shot will cost a fortune? Chapter 130. The old man was very angry. In addition to gold coins, there are also magic cores. Angelica said to Lin Yu, monsters at the extraordinary, holy, and demigod levels all have magic cores in their bodies, which is their source of energy. Monsters at these levels are all called magic beasts, and are no longer ordinary wild monsters. Generally speaking, the main purpose of magic cores is to provide energy for magic cannons. This is a good idea. Lin Yu really couldn't bear to use gold coins to drive the angel city. After all, a bombardment is equivalent to bombarding a small angel army with a full scale. Who can stand this? Lin Yu said to Angelica, during this period, the Angel Legion must step up its attack on the local strongholds, and while collecting various basic resources, it must also improve its strength. In addition, you can also form a hunting team, specialize in hunting down supernatural beasts and obtaining magic cores, wait until you have enough strength, and then hunt down holy beasts. In short, when the angel city is built, I hope my territory will have enough energy to deal with an offensive war. Yes, Lord of Holy Light. Angelica obeyed respectfully, and then asked, my lord, are you going to attack the giant kingdom in the west? Lin Yu smiled and said, now that we have a war fortress like the angel city, we naturally don't need to develop silently, but should take the initiative to attack. As long as we can capture the giant kingdom, we can take off in one wave. Of course, the premise is to solve the problem of the source of energy for the angel city. Without energy, the angel city is just a decoration. At most, it can only float above the territory. While performing daily tasks, they can also deter the invading enemies. But it is basically impossible to cross thousands of kilometers to capture the giant kingdom. I understand, Angelica nodded. Seeing that there was nothing else to do, Lin Yu said, you should also go out hunting and upgrade your level as soon as possible. The possibility of the existence of demigods in the giant kingdom cannot be ruled out. Yes, my lord, Angelica obeyed respectfully. However, she did not leave immediately, but handed a ball of light to Lin Yu. My lord, this is the soul ball I made, a disposable item that can be used to store souls. The souls of more than 10,000 two-headed demons killed in this war are all stored in it. Soul ball. Lin Yu showed a happy expression and said, Angelica, you gave me a surprise. Angelica smiled elegantly and said, it is my honor to serve you. Lin Yu reached out and took the ball of light handed by Angelica. After taking a look, he said, if making this kind of thing has no effect on you, then make more. Distribute it to the various legions in the territory and let them collect the souls of the wild monsters they hunt. Yes, my lord, Angelica nodded. For her, this disposable soul ball is just a trifle. Even if she makes hundreds of them at a time, it will not have any negative impact on her. Then, Angelica left the Lord's Hall. The 6 white and holy angel wings slowly opened, and then with a slight shake, her figure disappeared in the distant sky, at an incredible speed. Lin Yu also walked out of the Lord's Hall at this time, holding the soul ball in his left hand, holding a blueprint emitting a faint golden light in his right hand. When he came near the dark elf mother tree, Lin Yu chose to use the blueprint without hesitation. Suddenly, the blueprint disappeared. It turned into rich golden light that enveloped the 200-meter-high dark elf mother tree in front of it. Almost at the same time, the dark elf mother tree began to tremble. The tree body also began to grow taller and bigger at a speed visible to the naked eye. The main trunk seemed to be inflated. It became thicker and taller. Countless branches, twigs, and green leaves were growing wildly. The canopy-like crown was also constantly extending and expanding in all directions. After about 3 minutes, the dark elf mother tree calmed down and stopped growing. At this time, the dark elf mother tree had reached a height of more than 400 meters. It was like a towering tree. It was only slightly shorter than the shadow of the angel city next to it. It looked very spectacular. Top-level military building, dark elf mother tree, level 5, can breed, dark elves, number of troops that can be bred every day. 1000, next level 6 troop building, upgrade requirement. 100,000 gold coins, introduction. This is a very special dark elf mother tree, which is infused with the power of holiness and light, but it did not die due to the conflict of magic power, but instead underwent some strange changes. Special reminder, increasing the level of the dark elf mother tree can increase the number of dark elves bred, as well as the probability of breeding special elves. The previous article was written incorrectly. The previous level of the dark elf mother tree was level 4, and it was only upgraded to level 5 after this upgrade. It has been modified. Level 5 dark elf mother tree, it can breed a full 1000 dark elves every day. Lin Yu took a deep breath. Breeding 2 small-scale legions in one day, who would dare to believe it? Once it spreads to the chat channel on the island, those combat professionals and lord professionals will be scared to death, even the top lords. After all, they have developed to this point. All the arms in the territory add up to less than 1,000. And now Lin Yu breeds 1,000 dark elves a day. This can only be described as terrible. Originally, Lin Yu planned to use gold coins to upgrade the dark elf mother tree first, and then use this territory building upgrade blueprint, so that he can save more gold coins. But after serious consideration, finally, he chose to give up. Because the cost of upgrading the dark elf mother tree is too high. It costs tens of thousands of gold coins or even hundreds of thousands of gold coins. With so many gold coins, it is better to use them to summon angels. Lin Yu plans to no longer use gold coins to upgrade the dark elf mother tree in the future, unless one day he becomes rich to an unimaginable degree, otherwise he will use the blueprint to upgrade. He believed that as long as enough local strongholds were captured, the third and fourth territory building upgrade blueprints would always be revealed. While Lin Yu was thinking, several balls of light flew out from the crown of the dark elf mother tree. When they fell to the ground, these balls of light quickly expanded to about 2 meters, then vibrated, cracked, and collapsed, and finally revealed beautiful and sexy figures. 5 dark elves, each wearing a green leaf-woven skirt. Exquisite faces, thin waists and plump hips. Smooth jade arms, snow-white belly, straight long legs. All exposed. The whole outfit was like a bikini at a beach party. Very sexy and attractive. Praise you, great lord of holy light. When several dark elves saw Lin Yu, they knelt down without hesitation. Get up. Lin Yu raised his hand and said, there is no combat mission for you for the time being. Go and help the craftsman Angel Carol build the Angel City. Yes, Lord of Holy Light. The dark elves bowed and retreated, and went to the construction base of the Angel City. Although they were just conceived, they inherited the memory from the dark elf mother tree, so they knew the situation of Lin Yu's territory very well and did not need special guidance. Then, Lin Yu came to the planting area of the spiritual field. He fed a soul ball to the unfortunate flower. The little thing was very excited. He swallowed a soul ball in one mouthful. Soon, its body began to grow rapidly, and it grew to more than 1 meter in the blink of an eye. Although it was far less than the black bone blood vine next to it, the energy fluctuations it emitted were stronger. Lin Yu took a look at the growth time of the immortal flower. Originally it was 59 days and more than 8 hours, but now there are only 41 days left. One feeding directly saved more than half a month of growth time, which was much faster than the black bone blood vine that ate all day long. However, the immortal flower was still not satisfied. It looked at Lin Yu eagerly. Lin Yu patted its head and said with a smile, I will bring it to you next time, and you continue to look for opportunities to mutate. When you have the potential to become a god, I will take you to the battlefield of all realms. Woo woo, the immortal flower cried twice, very happy. The black bone blood vine on the side shook its tree body, very jealous. In the dense jungle, 4 fully staffed angel legions were scattered in different areas. Their tasks have been changed. It is no longer hunting wild monsters, but attacking one local force stronghold after another in the jungle. As for the task of hunting wild monsters, it was handed over to the Dark Elf Legion, as well as the Goblin team and the Grey Dwarf team in the territory. This is because angels are more maneuverable. Angels with the ability to fly can quickly capture other strongholds after capturing one stronghold. If it were dark elves and other types of soldiers, they would basically waste time on the road. Look, what is that? Fuck. Are those angels? Those with wings are not necessarily angels, they could also be birdmen, damn. Don't play with them at this time. I can be 100% sure that those are angels. After all, what birdman can grow 4 or 6 wings? That must be an angel army. The leader is a 6-winged angel and a 4-winged angel, and the others are 2-winged angels. God? How can there be angels on the floating island? Aren't angels the creatures of the gods in the novels and the big bosses behind the Church of Light? How come they appear so soon, in a jungle about 30 kilometers away from Lin Yu's territory? A group of combat professionals raised their heads and looked up at the sky. All of them were shocked and their eyes were dull. Chapter 131. The sky was full of stars, and the sky was full of stars. Hundreds of meters in the sky. A full-scale angel army, wrapped in a sacred and brilliant light, went away in a mighty manner. In the blink of an eye, it disappeared in the distant sky. In the jungle below, the combat professionals who saw this scene were all dumbfounded. There were a total of 30 or 40 people, and they were all dumbfounded at this moment. As humans from the Blue Star, how could they not know what an angel is? Angels have appeared in Western fantasy novels and even related movies and TV shows. Angels are the gods of the Western Church. Even the weakest angels are basically boss level when they appear. It was hard for them to believe that they could actually see angels on the floating island, and there were hundreds of them, forming a huge army. This was incredible. Are you sure they are all angels? It's basically certain, because apart from angels, I can't imagine any other fantasy race that looks like this. Don't the beastmen have swans? They look quite similar. Swans all have a pair of wings, and the creatures we just saw, the leader has 6 wings, and another group has 4 wings. So, they are definitely not swans. You can tell by looking at their appearance. Those creatures are all incredibly beautiful, wearing platinum armor, holding a sword burning with golden flames, and emitting a holy glow, with a style. What else can they be but angels? At this time, an elementalist holding a staff said, I have read some information about Western mythology. And the creatures with 3 pairs of wings, it is the seraphim. Could it be that the 6-winged angel at the head is the legendary seraphim? Someone shook his head. Cherubim and archangels also have 6 wings, which are on the same level as seraphim. No, the elementalist said, the information I saw is marked like this. Seraphim has 3 pairs of wings, cherubim has 2 pairs of wings and a pair of light wings, and archangels have 1 pair of wings and 2 pairs of light wings. By using different wings, these 3 angels of the 3rd level can be distinguished. What you said makes sense, but it's useless, a combat professional said. This is a floating island, bullshit Western mythology. Now even angels have appeared, so let alone 6 wings, even if 12-winged angels or 18-winged angels appear, I won't find it strange. The elementalist's mouth twitched immediately. It really doesn't make sense to use Western mythology to define the creatures on the floating island. It was as if they firmly believed that if the mythical beasts such as phoenix, dragon, unicorn, etc. from Eastern mythology came to the floating island, they could instantly kill all the soldiers into scum. But what is the reality? There are no such arms on the floating island. Even if there are dragons, they are big lizards with wings. I only have one question. At this time, a girl in light armor in the crowd suddenly said, are these angels native creatures of the floating island, or the soldiers of a certain lord professional? Of course they are native creatures. How can the lord's soldiers be angels? It must not be, otherwise, it would be too discouraging. A group of combat professionals shook their heads, and their opinions were quite consistent. If creatures from the divine world like angels become a type of soldier, how can other lord professionals survive? I believe that even the golden behemoth lord of the King's Hall can't do it. What is the golden behemoth lord? If you want to compare, you have to compare with Lin Yu. But I always feel that they are very much like a type of soldier, the girl in light armor muttered and explained. Although the distance between them is very far, I can be sure that their levels are basically below level 9. If they are native creatures of the floating island and angels in mythology, their levels can't be so low, right? A combat professional added, angels from the divine world are at least demigods. You haven't seen a real angel before. How can you be sure that it is at least demigod? You must be sure. In my heart, angels should be this strong. A group of people fell silent. Not speechless, but thinking. At this moment, a combat professional suddenly said fuck, and then shouted, those angels, no, could it be the army of Master Lin Yu? Think about it, everyone knows that Lin Yu is awesome, but no one knows what his army is. Yesterday, many people were discussing in the island's chat channel, claiming that Lin Yu had captured the local stronghold guarded by a king-level strongman, which is something that no other top lord can do. The Golden Behemoth Lord, Xia King Yu with the Frost Dragon Army, Sikunjin of Phoenix Village, all the same, no such strength, but if the angel army just now is the army under Lin Yu. Doesn't that explain why Lin Yu's development speed is so fast and his strength is so terrifying? Dozens of combat professionals all took a breath. This is really fucking ridiculous. Because they all felt that their companion's analysis made sense. It's confirmed, a combat professional said excitedly. The angels that just flew away must be Lin Yu's troops. Damn, we discovered a shocking secret, but I'm still a little confused. Among the top troops of the light camp listed by the floating island before, there seems to be no angel. And angels belong to the light camp. Who told you that angels must belong to the light camp? Who told you that angels must be top troops? Can't they be more powerful troops? Okay, you asked me a question that confused me. Brothers and sisters, don't you think of something more important? What? Everyone looked over. A combat professional holding a longbow said excitedly, Lin Yu's angel army appeared here, which means that his territory must be nearby. Damn, that makes sense. We can go directly to join boss Lin Yu. Everyone was very excited. To join Lin Yu is what countless combat professionals dream of. Just then, a fat professional grinned and said, Lin Yu sells so many equipment every day, his territory must be very rich. As soon as the voice fell, a professional shouted angrily. Fuck. Who picked up this idiot? Hurry up and drive him away. I don't want to be killed by him in Lin Yu's hands. We are not going to rob, we are going to join him. The fat professional was frightened and said quickly, don't get me wrong, I mean that if we join Lin Yu's territory, we can let Lin Yu give us some equipment, not robbery. No misunderstanding, you are an idiot. Why should they give you equipment? Do you think you are Lin Yu? He has so many equipment, what's wrong with giving me one or two? I can also help him clean up the wild monsters around the territory. Get out, get out. The combat professional immediately yelled and laughed angrily. Fortunately you joined temporarily and only formed a team with you for one day. Otherwise I was really afraid that you would lead me into an idiot. He turned to other combat professionals and said, this is a world where people eat each other. No one is kind, including Lin Yu. If we make Lin Yu unhappy, we may not even be able to enter his territory and will be killed by his angels. If there are still such idiots among you, stand up quickly. Don't fucking implicate everyone. The combat professionals all shook their heads, and would never admit that they were idiots. Soon, the team set off. They ran in the direction where the Angel Legion left. They didn't know the exact location of Lin Yu's territory. Whether they could find it depended on luck. Unless they were lucky enough to see the billowing black smoke coming out of the blacksmith shop. As for the fat Lin Yu just now, she was expelled from the team immediately. This decision was unanimously agreed by all the team members. Chapter 132. The island chat channel was in a frenzy. Just because of the appearance of a piece of news, countless professionals were attracted, including the alliance masters of the major alliances and the top lords. When seeing this news, tens of millions of professionals were awe-stunned, and everyone was forced to be in an unbelievable state. Lin Yu's army is an angel. Fuck, is this true or false? Please give me a photo. I have lived for 20 years, and I have never seen what a real angel looks like. It's as if someone has seen it. Please cover. No picture, no truth. The above. The floating island does not have the function of taking pictures. I can prove that Master Lin Yu's army is angels, and the location is in the dark forest. All the dozens of professionals in our team have seen it. There are as many as 400 or 500 angels, not only 2-winged angels, but also 4-winged angels and even 6-winged angels. Everyone looks like a goddess, but of course this is not the point. The point is that those angels are super powerful. All angels are fully armed and hold flaming swords. They formed a legion and flew hundreds of meters above our heads. The breath is very terrifying. After our team's unanimous conclusion, they are not only angels, but also Lin Yu's army. After a series of messages were sent out, the Chat channel on the island was boiling again. Lin Yu's army was actually angels, which was beyond the expectations of all professionals. Everyone felt incredible. It was like a fairy tale, unreal. However, they were willing to believe that this was the truth. Because of the angels, it can perfectly explain why Lin Yu's development speed is so fast. When countless professionals are still struggling to survive, the core of Lin Yu's core was the first to capture the base of the local forces and put high-level top-quality equipment on the shelves one after another. Now, Lin Yu's core of core has even captured the local bases guarded by king-level strongmen. These are the evidence. Compared with those top-level core, angels, who are known as creatures of the divine world, are naturally more powerful. What angels can do, those top-level core can't do, which is completely normal. Dark Forest. Damn, our team is also in the Dark Forest. Does this mean that we may become the first batch of combat professionals to join Lin Yu? Envy. I wish I could do it again. Why is my landing place not in the Dark Forest, let alone anything else? Our team has packed up and set off. Since Big Boss Lin Yu refuses to form an alliance, we will go directly to his territory to seek refuge. I don't believe that Big Boss Lin Yu will reject us with all his sincerity. Count us in as one of the team. What are the combat professionals in the Dark Forest waiting for? Hurry up and find Big Boss Lin Yu's territory. When the time comes, we will rush over to Big Boss Lin Yu, and Big Boss Lin Yu will have to accept us even if he doesn't want to. Millions of people. Are there so many professionals in the Dark Forest? No more, no less. This floating island is divided into 8 major areas, including the Dark Forest, the Runkle Prairie, the Desolate Desert, the Dead Lake, the 36 islands of the Bay, the Fertile Region, the St. Cabal Snowfield, and the Holy Land of the Elves. With tens of millions of professionals scattered around, there must be millions of people in one area. With so many professionals, it should be easy to find Lin Yu's territory. We should be able to find them, but it is unrealistic to gather them all in the territory of Big Brother Lin Yu. The reason is very simple. The Dark Forest is too large. It stretches for thousands of kilometers, with mountains stacked one after another, and countless wild monsters and local strongholds. Don't even think about crossing it if you haven't reached the extraordinary level. It can only be said that those combat professionals who landed in the area near Big Brother Lin Yu were lucky. Alice, I still want to go to Big Brother Lin Yu. Now it seems that there is little hope. Don't worry, as long as you are in the Dark Forest, there is a chance. Let's first determine the specific location of Big Brother Lin Yu's territory. This task is handed over to our team. We are working hard to search for Big Brother Lin Yu's territory. Come on, brothers upstairs. All members of our team support you spiritually. Let me say, be careful for the best. Don't be killed by Lin Yu's angel army in seconds. Thank you so much. Just when countless professionals were discussing it, there was also a lot of discussion in the Grand Alliance channel. The members in this channel are either the Lord of the Alliance or the top Lord. Only a few are high-level lords. It can be seen how important this channel is. Big brothers, we are in big trouble. Have you seen the information in the chat channel on the island? Someone broke the news that Lin Yu's army is actually angels. This is really thundering, and I couldn't react for a long time. The information was seen, but it has not been confirmed after all. That team of combat professionals did not enter Lin Yu's territory after all. Although they saw angels, that is not necessarily Lin Yu's army. Don't be lucky. A woman's intuition tells me that this is the fact. Angels, it's nothing more than Lin Yu's strength is so strong. If I had the angel army, I would be more awesome than him. Don't dream, it's still daytime. By the way, can we beat Lin Yu? That's an angel, a legendary creature from the divine world. Each of them is a big boss, and Lin Yu has a large group of them. Stop talking, brothers. I'm a little panicked now. What are you panicking about? The island war hasn't started yet. What the hell is the island war? My territory is also in the Dark Forest. It's possible that Lin Yu will kill me before the war even starts. I should be the one panicking. What are you panicking about? My army is a missionary of the light camp. I just asked them some questions about angels. Guess what? They actually said that angels are eternal holy spirits created by the Supreme Creator, noble, holy, and inviolable. So what? What's wrong? Damn. My missionaries pray once in the morning and evening, and the object of their prayer is the Supreme Creator, and the Goddess of Light is ranked behind. I suspect that once they meet Lin Yu's angel, my missionaries will have to kneel before the battle even starts. Hiss, then you are really panicking. Faith is something that cannot be stopped by arms. Yeah, I have a headache now. Otherwise, Why don't you just quit the channel? After all, you will become Lin Yu's lackey sooner or later. Other Alliance lords and powerful lords also twitched their mouths. In the floating island world, there is no such thing as loyalty for arms. Arms are also intelligent creatures with self-awareness. There are many external factors that will affect the loyalty of arms to lord professionals. That's why we need to cultivate the strength of arms. Cultivate the loyalty of the troops. In the case of the light missionary, it is purely a son meeting his father. Not to mention kneeling on the ground when they meet. At least, it is absolutely impossible to let troops like the light missionary resist the angels recorded in the Holy Book. If it is a troop type, fanatical follower, it is possible that he will turn around and chop his lord to death. So, getting a special troop type randomly is also a kind of fate. Everyone in the channel thinks that Lin Yu is the luckiest. He got an angel randomly. Even if he does not form an alliance, there will be a large group of lackeys of the light camp following him. Chapter 133. The sky was full of dense jungle. Hundreds of frost dragons were breathing dragon breath and slaughtering wild monsters in the jungle. In the center of the battle circle, there stood a mid-level village. This was Sha Kingayu's territory. She was lying alone in the bedroom on the second floor of the Lord's Hall. Her long hair was loose, her clothes were cool, revealing her snow-white skin and sexy figure. After closing the Grand Alliance channel, Sha Kingayu stretched out her slender fingers and rubbed her forehead. A helpless expression appeared on her delicate cheeks. Lin Yu Sha Kingayu smiled bitterly and hummed. Because her territory is also in the dark forest, in the same area as Lin Yu. For ordinary lord professionals, this may be an extremely lucky thing, because they can join Lin Yu at the first time and embrace a bright future. But she is a top lord. Her army is a pure-blooded frost dragon. As a woman with lofty goals, her dream is to become the owner of this floating island. As a result, now she and Lin Yu are in the dark forest. This is a very bad thing. Just like the Lord Professional in the Big Alliance channel said, it is possible that she has been killed by Lin Yu before the island war has begun. This is not self-deprecation, but a cruel reality. Through Lin Yu's various glorious achievements, it can be seen that the angel is not a little stronger than her frost dragon, and the scale must be far greater than her dragon army. The dark forest stretches for thousands of kilometers and covers a vast area. My territory should not be so unlucky to appear near Lin Yu. Lin Yu's angel army is not strong enough to sweep the entire dark forest in a short time. After all, there are 4 local superpowers in this area, so I still have enough time to prepare. Whether it is developing the territory or strengthening the alliance, it can increase my capital to fight against Lin Yu in the future, especially the alliance. It must be strengthened. Xia Qinggayu believes that if she really wants to fight with Lin Yu, her strength alone is definitely not enough. She needs to rely on the power of the alliance, or the power of those combat professionals. She has to find a way to gather all the nearby combat professionals to her territory. At that time, she will fight with Lin Yu. The Lord's territory cannot be relocated, so once Lin Yu's angel army comes, she can either choose to resist or surrender. Xia Qinggayu chose the former. She plans to resist a little first, and then see the situation. After all, her army is also a frost dragon. If she surrenders without even fighting, it would be too shameful. No, it's too shameful for the dragon. Luncal Prairie. A large number of golden behemoths are hunting wild monsters on the prairie in groups. There is not much difference in the types of wild monsters in the prairie and the dark forest. The difference lies in the strongholds of local forces. The local forces on the prairie are basically beastmen. The dog-headed people, wolf riders, lion-headed people, swan people, fox people, etc. that are common in fantasy novels are all here. At the same time, the most powerful local force on the prairie is also the Beastman. Although the headquarters of the Goblin Kingdom is also in the Luncal Prairie, but its strength cannot compete with a Beastman court. The local races of this grassland basically respect the Beastman court. At this time, behind the Golden Behemoth Legion, in the territory, the Golden Behemoth Lord was looking at the Boiling Island chat channel and the information in the Grand Alliance channel with a confused face. He felt his scalp tingling. Lin Yu's army was actually angels, which was something he had never thought of. It was unimaginable. Should I try to build a good relationship with Lin Yu? While talking to himself, the Golden Behemoth Lord's face suddenly twitched, and he said angrily, "What kind of relationship? He put me on the blacklist when I sold the snake armor before. The surname Lin didn't even give me the opportunity to add him as a friend. The Golden Behemoth Lord has always been upset about this. Forget it, there is no need at all. Lin Yu's territory is not on the Runkel Prairie. I don't need to worry about encountering his angel army. The one who should be worried is Xia Qingyu. Thinking of this, the Golden Behemoth Lord sneered twice again. The two had quarreled with each other before because of the alliance members' job hopping, and they are still in a state of hostility. And the two sides also learned about each other's area through not very friendly exchanges. He knew that Xia Qingyu's territory was also in the Dark Forest. I hope Lin Yu can kill Xia Qingyu as soon as possible. Once that woman dies, the Midsummer Night Alliance will immediately disband. At that time, I might be able to pick up a bargain. Talking to himself, the Golden Behemoth Lord's mood improved again. At this time, a golden behemoth nearly 10 meters tall rushed into the territory and reported to the young man, "Lord, those pigs are unwilling to surrender." What? The Golden Behemoth Lord was immediately angry. A group of weak pig beasts dare not surrender in the face of the powerful Golden Behemoth Lord? Faced with the Lord's anger, the Golden Behemoth did not speak. His expression was also very calm. After a long time, the young man calmed down, looked up at the huge Golden Behemoth, frowned and asked, "Aren't you Golden Behemoths the rulers of the orcs? How come you can't even subdue a group of pigs?" The Golden Behemoth was speechless for a moment, and then said, "The group of pigs said that they are loyal to the Beast King and believe in the God of all beasts. It has nothing to do with us Golden Behemoths. God, it has nothing to do with it. The Golden Behemoth is born to be the royal family of the orcs. The pigs are at the bottom of the orcs. What do you mean it has nothing to do with it?" In the eyes of the young man, the pigs who are like slaves and the orcs should bow their heads when they see his Golden Behemoth, and then get up and pay homage to him, the Golden Behemoth Lord. The result was contrary to his wishes, and he was very angry. Faith, loyalty, the young man frowned and whispered a few times. Then he looked at the Golden Behemoth and asked, "When will you become my believers?" The Golden Behemoth said in a buzzing voice, "Lord, we also believe in the God of all beasts. When you become the God of all beasts one day, you will get our faith." The young man rolled his eyes immediately. "Go down, intensify hunting and improve your strength, wait until tomorrow, and kill the tribe of pigs for me." "Yes, Lord." The Golden Behemoth turned and left without hesitation. Looking at the back of the Golden Behemoth going away, the young man exhaled heavily, angry and helpless. "You can only wait to become a god, become an immortal true god. I don't believe that I can't get faith from these Golden Behemoths." At the same time, in the barren desert, the village chief of Phoenix Village, Sikun Jun, was also paying attention to the chat channel on the island. However, apart from being shocked, he didn't have any other thoughts. Because he has more headaches now. It was the king-level skeleton mage. After one night, his worries not only did not disappear, but became more intense. His intuition told him, the king-level skeleton mage will appear again tonight. If he doesn't deal with that guy, let alone hunting at night, his Dark Fire Phoenix army will be fleeced like wool sooner or later. "Damn it, one day I will tear your skeleton apart," Sikun Jun cursed viciously. Here in the territory, Lin Yu also saw the information in the chat channel on the island. His first reaction was surprise. Then, he returned to calm. Although the Dark Forest is huge, there are also many combat professionals, millions of people. And as angels, entering and leaving the territory, are all flying in the sky in a mighty manner, and they are emitting brilliant holy light all over their bodies, which can be seen from a long distance. Now it is also a very normal thing to be discovered by combat professionals. Lin Yu was not worried about the exposure of the angel soldiers, and his heart was always calm. For him, exposure is exposure. It's a matter of time. He never thought about keeping this secret that can't be called a secret. It's the group of combat professionals who are very close to my territory. I have to consider whether to expel them or kill them directly. In short, Lin Yu would never let them enter his territory. Professionals are not soldiers, have no faith, and it's hard to guarantee loyalty. There are too many uncertain factors. Now, his territory is building the Angel City, which makes it even more impossible to let those combat professionals in. But what Lin Yu didn't know was, the situation is rapidly becoming serious. With the 4 angel legions in the 4 directions of the territory, southeast, northwest, and nearly 100 kilometers in radius, the area within the area was swept across in a mighty manner, searching for the bases of local forces. More and more combat professionals saw their figures. And these professionals, without exception, all packed up and set off, gathering towards his territory. This is no longer a matter of dozens of professionals, but hundreds and thousands. And the number is still rising sharply. Chapter 134. The Wild World. A large army of angels descended from the sky in the dazzling divine light. The vast divine light, the holy breath, and the angel swords burning with golden flames directly shocked the goblin tribe below. More than 1,000 local goblins in the tribe were awe-stunned. They even forgot what they should do. It was not until the goblin chieftain, who had reached the late level of the 9th level, roared that the goblins in the tribe seemed to wake up from a dream, and they shouted enemy attack one by one. There are many kinds of native intelligent races in the dark forest. However, they are also divided into regions. In the western region ruled by the giant kingdom, the most intelligent races are goblins, two-headed demons, and giant monsters. In the northern region guarded by the Bone Temple, the local strongholds are mainly undead. In the eastern region guarded by the Elf Garden, the local strongholds are mainly intelligent creatures such as elves and tree people. As for the southern region guarded by the Naga Kingdom, the intelligent races in the local strongholds are mainly fishmen, crocodile monsters, and swamp monsters. Lin Yu's territory is located to the west of the Dark Forest, the ruling area of the Giant Kingdom. So the most common local strongholds here are the Goblin Tribe, Two-Headed Demon Tribe, etc. Chaos and panic. In an instant, the entire Goblin Tribe was filled. More than 1,000 goblins quickly picked up the weapons around them, trying to fight the enemy and protect their tribe. However, often only wishes are beautiful. They haven't even finished gathering, and the tribe has been shrouded in a brilliant rain of light. That is the power of faith in magic. The two four-winged dark angels took the lead and waved the angel staffs in their hands. The holy light of faith was poured into the tribe, accompanied by the whispers of the four-winged dark angels Elsa and Anna. More than 1,200 goblins in the tribe, whether ordinary goblins or goblin chiefs with a level as high as the late 9th level, all knelt on the ground. At first, the goblin chief was able to struggle a few times. But as the power of faith magic continued to invade his soul, the distorted expression on his face gradually disappeared. Finally, he praised the Lord of Holy Light with a pious face. Mission accomplished. Lady Renee, the four-winged dark angels Elsa and Anna returned to the Legion and reported to the six-winged angel Renee. A set of faith magic made more than 1,000 local goblins in this stronghold kneel down and surrender, without even a battle breaking out. This has to be said to be a very terrible thing. But this is one of the most powerful abilities of angels. Spreading faith is the signature skill of angels. The six-winged angel Renee nodded slightly and said, "My lord has an oracle to destroy all the captured strongholds. Gather the resources of the strongholds, and Angelica will come to take them away later." After that, Renee looked at the tribal goblins who were kneeling on the ground. "You stay here to guard the supplies. After the supplies are taken away, you will go to my lord's territory." "Yes, Lord Saint," the tribal goblins responded with great respect. Then, a group of angels flew to the meeting hall of the goblin tribe. Generally speaking, the meeting hall is the core building of the local power stronghold. As long as it is destroyed, other buildings in the stronghold will be turned into ruins. About a few hundred meters away from this goblin tribe, in the dense jungle, there is a team of dozens of combat professionals hidden. They looked at the angel army standing above the goblin tribe, and everyone was stunned. "Fuck. It's really an angel. I didn't expect that our luck would be so good that we could meet an angel, and at such a close distance." Unlike the team that first discovered the angel army, they only saw the silhouette of the angel flying high in the sky. "The angel army is right in front of us. What are we waiting for? Hurry over. Who knows, they may take us directly to Lin Yu's territory. With angels leading the way, we don't have to wander around in the jungle." "Don't worry," a third-level combat professional said. "Let's take a look first." What to look at? The team members were a little puzzled. The third-level professional explained, "This angel army must be here to attack this goblin tribe. If we go there now, won't we be forced to join the war? If we are killed by those goblins, it will be a big loss. Wait until those angels conquer this tribe, then we will go there." "That makes sense." The team members also put away their anxious mood. They don't want to die before they succeed. Even if they go to Lin Yu, they just want to get Lin Yu's protection, not to help Lin Yu's territory develop. Of course, this is also normal. Egoism is a common human nature. Just at this time, the goblin tribe in the distance was rumbling. Then, the walls outside the tribe, arrow towers, and buildings inside the tribe collapsed in large pieces. In the blink of an eye, The tribe turned into a wooden ruin. Seeing this, a group of combat professionals were immediately shocked. What's going on? There was no sound of fighting, and those angels didn't even charge in, but stood high in the sky. How could the goblin tribe suddenly be destroyed? Look, all the goblins in this tribe are kneeling on the ground, and the direction they are kneeling is exactly those angels in the sky. Oh my god, is this a collective surrender? This is incredible. Did those Lord professionals claim that the strongholds of local forces are very difficult to capture? It is even more difficult to make local intelligent creatures surrender. Why is it as easy as drinking water here? I understand, a team member said. It's not that there was no battle, but that the battle was over. Before, 2 four-winged angels waved their staffs and sprinkled a piece of holy light into the goblin tribe. Those holy lights must be the direct reason for the goblin tribe to surrender. Forced belief, it's probably true. Hiss. Is this an angel? Too scary. That's what we saw with our own eyes. If we heard about it from others, we would never believe that such a thing would happen. The team members were all shocked. At this time, a team member said anxiously, Captain, those angels are collecting spoils and should be leaving soon. Should we go over now and let them take us to Lin Yu's territory? We must go, but you must also be mentally prepared. What mental preparation? All the team members looked over, and the team leader said, it is possible that those angels will kill us. No way. More than a dozen combat professionals took a breath in unison. Their level is too low. Generally level 2, the highest is no more than level 3. If Lin Yu's angels want to kill them, it would be easy. A combat professional frowned and said, we have not offended Lin Yu, and we went to him for help. He has no reason to kill us. Be prepared for the worst. Captain, what should we do now? The team leader said, send someone first to find out the angels' attitude towards us. If something happens to that person, we will flee immediately. Who should we send? The team members looked at each other. No one wanted to be the first to stand out. At this moment, the angel army that had just gathered over the goblin tribe suddenly flew towards the jungle where they were hiding, obviously discovering this team of professionals. And in just a blink of an eye, a group of combat professionals were surrounded. Well, there is no need for anyone to stand out now. A group of people were all caught. Chapter 135. The enemy was in chaos, and the enemy was in chaos. Hundreds of angels gathered. Some stood high in the sky, and some were scattered in the jungle. In short, they surrounded the professional team. The sudden change also scared the team leader. But he reacted quickly and reminded the team members in a low voice. Hold on, everyone put away your weapons and equipment. Hearing this, the surrounded combat professionals were also alert. After the panic, they quickly put away their weapons and raised their hands to surrender. They knew very well that facing the terrifying angels in front of them, not resisting was the only way to survive. In addition to panic, they also felt amazing. Because, these angels in front of them are so beautiful. Especially at such a close distance, they can clearly see the angels' beautiful faces and their perfect golden ratio bodies. The beauty of angels is flawless. Every professional present was shocked by the beauty of the angels. How great it would be if they could marry an angel, they thought. Similarly, they were extremely jealous of Lin Yu. Because these angels all belonged to Lin Yu. In addition, there were combat professionals with extraordinary imaginations, looking forward to having Lin Yu assign them an angel each after joining Lin Yu's territory. At this time, the captain of the team stood up. He cast his eyes on the 6-winged angel Rene who led the angel army, and quickly explained, Beautiful angel, please don't misunderstand. We have no ill intentions. We are professionals from another world and we are your lords. However, Rene ignored him. Instead, he looked at the 4-winged dark angel Aisha standing aside. Aisha understood and immediately waved the angel staff in her hand, and sprinkled a rain of light on the team. Seeing this scene, the faces of dozens of combat professionals present all changed drastically. They clearly saw that the 2 4-winged angels used this method to capture the goblin tribe and made more than 1,000 goblins in the tribe kneel on the ground. This is forced belief. A terrible magic that can distort the mind and will. They don't want to become Lin Yu's believers. Wait a minute, the team leader screamed in horror. The other team members retreated one after another, trying to escape from the range of the light drain. But it was in vain. There were dense angels all around, and they couldn't escape even if they wanted to. In this situation, they regretted appearing here very much. But at this moment, the bright light rain suddenly disappeared. A group of combat professionals hurriedly checked themselves, and found that they seemed to be fine. What's going on? Has the angel's magic failed? I don't know why, but this is good news. Everyone's face showed joy, a kind of ecstasy after surviving a disaster. On the opposite side, the four-winged dark angel Aisha said with a puzzled expression, Lady Renee, it seems that believing in divine magic cannot purify the souls of these alien professionals. The six-winged angel Renee also frowned. Then he said, it should be the world rules of the floating island that are protecting them. Aisha suddenly realized, and then asked, then how to deal with this group of alien humans? The combat professionals who gathered together heard this conversation, and they were all overjoyed. It turned out that not only the Lord professionals were the biological sons of the floating island. They, the combat professionals, were also. Although they seemed to be adopted, at least they were not abandoned by their stepmothers. However, they didn't have much time to be happy before they heard the six-winged angel called Lady Renee say, since there is no way to accept them as believers of our Lord, just kill them directly. Only the creatures who believe in our Lord can be saved. What? If you don't believe in Lin Yu, you have to die? All the combat professionals were scared. The team leader also shouted in horror, don't kill us. We are from the same world as your Lord Lin Yu, and we are also preparing to go to him. These words were like a bomb, detonating the anger in the hearts of the angels. Calling our Lord's real name directly is even more damnable. Instantly, all the angels were infuriated. Without the order of the six-winged angel Renee, the angels all he swung the angel sword in his hand and killed all the combat professionals present. Not a single one was left. Then he sprinkled a piece of angel holy flame and burned the corpses to ashes. Until death, these combat professionals did not understand one thing. In front of the angels, the real name of the Lord of Holy Light must never be called out. That is a blasphemy against the Supreme Creator. Next stronghold, the six-winged angel Renee glanced at the messy ground expressionlessly, and then shook the three pairs of snow-white angel wings behind her, and flew straight into the sky. The nearby angels also shook their wings in unison and followed closely. Soon, this angel army went away in a mighty manner. Only the ashes in the sky were left, drifting in the jungle. This was the first combat professional team killed by the angel army. But it was not the last one. A team of combat professionals had even worse luck, because they encountered the fallen angel Gladys, who appeared alone in the jungle. Fuck. What a big angel. She's nearly 7 meters tall, almost as tall as 2 floors. Oh my god, is she the Gundam among the angels? What the hell is Gundam? She's wearing blood red armor, holding a blood red sword, and the 3 pairs of wings behind her are all black, just like the legendary demon. I think she's a fallen angel. Hiss, how come Lin Yu has fallen angels under his command? Damn. She saw us. What should we do? Surrender or run away? Of course we run away. Dozens of combat professionals scattered in an instant. And then, there was nothing else. With a flash of rich blood light, the fallen angel Gladys began to clean up the battlefield with a bloody sword, and whispered indifferently, humble professionals from another world have no respect for the Supreme Creator. I think the other humans in that other world are the same. When His Majesty comes, I need to report this information. When we cross the border in the future, we will destroy that other world together. The edge of the territory. Lin Yu was lying on the bed in the bedroom on the 2nd floor, brushing the all-in-one trading platform with rich items. He didn't know that a combat professional had been killed by his angel, because he blocked the ordinary killing prompts. Only the special killing prompts that revealed drawings and equipment would be known to him. But the combat professionals are so poor, how can there be any equipment to be exploded? As for the drawings, not many were killed, so it is normal that they can't be exploded. What Lin Yu didn't know was that his fallen angel Gladys had also been hated by the humans of Blue Star because a professional called him by his name. He even had the idea of conquering Blue Star across borders in the future. So far the Angel Legion has captured 3 local strongholds, 2 goblin tribes and 1 goblin tribe. I can feel that the number of my believers has suddenly increased by nearly 4,000. This is good news. Believers are the foundation of faith in gods. The more the number, the stronger the power of the gods. Of course, if possible, Lin Yu will also study the path of law in the future. After all, Flying Devil can make him stronger. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 136. Time flies. It seems like just a blink of an eye. The sun has already set, and darkness gradually climbs up the mountain. By dusk, night is falling. All the combat professionals in various areas of the floating island urgently return to their shelters. No matter which area, the floating island shrouded in darkness is extremely dangerous. Even if you have the strength of a king, you can't guarantee that you can walk sideways in the dark. During this period of time, only the Lord's territory is absolutely safe. Even the local demigod will not invade the territory that has not reached the level of town. This is the rule. At this moment, around Lin Yu's territory, within a radius of nearly 100 kilometers, there are a large number of combat professional teams scattered around. They were all attracted by the angel army. They tried to find Lin Yu's hidden territory in the jungle, and then get Lin Yu's protection. In their opinion, as long as they can enter Lin Yu's territory, they don't have to worry about the future. They can go out hunting during the day. At night, they go back to Lin Yu's territory to sleep. In the future, when Lin Yu conquers the floating island and becomes the master of an island, they can even benefit from Lin Yu and have the opportunity to become immortal gods. It's a good thing no matter how you look at it. However, they don't know that they have already had their companions killed by Lin Yu's angels. In the eyes of the angels, they, the combat professionals, are not even as valuable as the weak local earth elves. At least, the local earth elves can provide the power of faith for their Lord of Holy Light. I don't know where Lin Yu's territory is. I've been searching all day, but I haven't gotten any useful information. Lin Yu's angels fly high in the sky, coming and going without a trace, and we can't catch up with them. If we keep searching blindly like this, we don't know when it will end. What's the hurry? Are you impatient on the first day? Look slowly. We'll find it eventually. In addition, we can hunt wild monsters while searching for Lin Yu's territory, so we can do both. If we're lucky one day and run into Lin Yu's angel army, let them take us directly to Lin Yu's territory. That makes sense. Look at the chat channel. Many people in it say they saw Lin Yu's angels. Are they not nearby? Aren't you talking nonsense? Is there anyone else with angels besides Lin Yu? If there was, they would have shown up long ago. It's not that bad. There are only two people, Lin Yu and Sikun Jun, on the honor contribution list. This is good news for us. There is strength in numbers. If hundreds or thousands of combat professionals gather in Lin Yu's territory, he will definitely not dare to expel us easily. When that time comes, we will gather outside his territory. After a long time, he will definitely let us in. What if he orders the Angel Legion to kill us all? How is that possible? If Lin Yu kills us, it means that he is hostile to all combat professionals and does not accept the surrender of combat professionals. You know, there are tens of millions of combat professionals on the island. Does he dare to do this? Of course he doesn't dare. Even if Lin Yu has a powerful Angel Legion, he is not the opponent of our combat professional alliance. So, don't worry, get a good night's sleep, continue to look for it tomorrow. Similar discussions also appeared in other professional teams in this area. They were all sure that as long as the number of combat professionals gathered was large enough and they went to Lin Yu's territory together, Lin Yu would definitely accept them as his subjects in the end. No matter how bad it was, Lin Yu would not dare to do anything to them. There is strength in numbers. This is a wise saying. Here in the territory, Lin Yu slept for an afternoon. Perhaps it was because he was too tired last night. Anyway, when he woke up, it was already evening. After eating the dinner that Elena prepared carefully, Lin Yu walked out of the Lord's Hall. He immediately saw a shocking picture. In the square of his territory, there were densely packed figures. An angel army composed of more than 2,000 angels, thousands of dark elves, and a large number of goblins and great dwarves, as well as goblins and trolls. At first glance, it was a sea of people. After taking a look at the information prompt from Floating Island of 10,000 Worlds, Lin Yu realized that while he was sleeping in the afternoon, his 4 angel legions had captured 4 local power bases. Adding them all up, the angel legions had captured a total of 7 local power bases during this outing. They were 3 goblin tribes, 1 two-headed demon tribe, 2 goblin tribes, and 1 troll tribe. The strongest of these 7 local power bases were all level 9 professionals. Although the strength of the tribe was not as strong as the two-headed demon tribe that was captured in the morning, the total harvest was still very considerable. After all, there were 7 base treasure chests alone. May the Holy Light always be there, and the Holy Lord be eternal. Densely packed figures gathered together, all kneeling in front of Lin Yu with great piety. The largest number of them were goblins. Next is the goblin. Finally, the troll. The total number is more than 10,000. These local intelligent creatures are one of the harvests today. They have all been transformed into Lin Yu's believers by Elena, who has mastered the art of faith, and many four-winged archangels. With these new goblins, and trolls, the total number of my subjects has reached 23,000. Lin Yu was very happy. Compared with yesterday, the number of subjects has doubled. This is a very incredible thing. Even if it is spread out, basically no professional will believe it, including those top lords. The number of troops under their command is at most a few hundred. On the other hand, Lin Yu already has more than 20,000 subjects, which is dozens of times theirs. Who can believe this? Lin Yu's eyes fell on a group of goblins and trolls. In appearance, goblins are very similar to goblins. Both are green-skinned creatures, and they are also thin and short. The difference is that the goblin has a very sharp nose, similar to the witch's nose in the anime, and a pair of long pointed ears. In terms of the camp, the goblin is a completely evil creature. Legend has it that the goblin is a slave of the devil, often with orcs, attacking humans. I don't know if it's true. As for the trolls, there are 3 types of trolls on the floating island, namely forest trolls, frost trolls, and sand trolls. And those kneeling in front of Lin Yu are forest trolls. Their body size is generally about 4 meters high, stronger and more burly than the 2-headed demon. Their upper and lower rows of teeth are densely packed and very sharp, just like sharp knives, looking extremely ferocious. Trolls also have another nickname, ogre. Lin Yu looked at the densely packed kneeling figures in front of him and said, "From now on, you are both my believers and my subjects. You must work diligently and hard to serve my territory. One day, I will lift up the kingdom of God and become a true god of faith. Your souls and bodies will gain eternal life in my kingdom of God. Praise you, great Lord of Holy Light." Every goblin, and forest troll present was extremely excited. They praised in unison, and the scene was spectacular. It was not until Lin Yu raised his right hand that they got up from the ground and retreated to another area of the territory square, listening to the holy voices of the angels and praying to the Lord of Holy Light together. This kind of prayer is not meaningless. In the process of praying, Lin Yu can gain several times more power of faith than usual. All this power of faith will be stored in his body, waiting for the moment of becoming a god and breaking out of the cocoon and becoming a butterfly. Lin Yu then returned to the Lord's Hall. Angelica, who was elegant and noble, followed slowly behind. After entering the hall, Angelica handed the black and gold belt around her waist to Lin Yu and said, "My lord, the hunting harvest of the territory team and the spoils of the Angel Legion's capture of the local stronghold have been stored in it." "Yes," Lin Yu nodded slightly. He took the belt with a hint of Angelica's body temperature and fragrance and tied it around himself, and simultaneously put his spiritual consciousness into it. At this time, Angelica suddenly said, "My lord, this afternoon in the wild jungle, the Angel Legion killed some combat professionals." When she said this, Angelica's expression was very calm. For her, whether those combat professionals live or die is just a trivial matter. She doesn't care. But no matter what, this kind of thing should also be reported to the Lord of Holy Light. Report. Lin Yu did not raise his head and said, "Angelia, do you think those combat professionals are helpful to the development of our territory?" Angelia shook her head and replied, "They still have some value in the battlefield of the 10,000 worlds. But now, they are useless and will affect the growth of the territory's troops. Combat professionals cannot be purified by faith magic and are not worth cultivating. My lord can gather those who survive the cruel elimination after conquering this world. Those people can barely be called warriors," Lin Yu said again. Then, "With the strength of our territory, how difficult is it to conquer this floating island?" Angelia lowered her head slightly and responded softly, "No difficulty, my lord." After the voice fell, there was no sound in the Lord's Hall. Lin Yu counted the spoils in the Skeleton King's belt. The beautiful and elegant Angelia stood quietly aside. Chapter 137. The harvest was so great that the harvest was so great. 697,000 units of food, 475,000 units of wood, 220,000 units of stone, 186,000 units of iron ore, various monster materials, metal materials, and some. This is the basic resource harvest of the Angel Legion after conquering 7 local power bases. In addition, the Dark Elf Legion, the Goblin Legion, and the Grey Dwarf Legion of the territory also harvested a large amount of food and monster materials by hunting wild monsters. In other words, Lin Yu's warehouse was full again. And the proportion of the warehouse full was very high. The territory warehouse with a total reserve of 1 million units could not hold wood, stone, iron ore, and various materials, let alone food. There are a lot of resources that need to be stored in the open space of the territory. Fortunately, the consumption of the craftsman Angel Carol in building the Angel City is very large, otherwise all the basic resources added up can only be stored half in the warehouse and half in the open space. I thought that the warehouse with a reserve of 1 million units would be enough for a short time. I didn't expect it to take only 2 or 3 days. The warehouse is full every day. Lin Yu felt a sense of pain and happiness. He also wanted to build more warehouses to store supplies. At least all the food should be stored in it, because it is easy to deteriorate if it is piled in the open air. But the rules of the floating island do not allow it. Village-level territories can only build one warehouse. Only when the level of the territory reaches the town level can the number of warehouses that can be built be increased to 3. In addition, the same is true for special buildings such as blacksmith shops and walls. After the territory is upgraded to town, 2 blacksmith shops and 2 walls can be built. 2 blacksmith shops can build equipment at the same time, increasing the total amount of equipment produced per day. 2 walls can divide the town-level territory into core area and ordinary area. While further strengthening the defense of the territory, it can also divide the people of different races. Once the territory reaches the town level, the number of these special buildings that can be built will continue to increase. In short, the improvement of the territory level means that all aspects of the territory can be improved and enhanced. Lin Yu turned his head and looked at Angelica, who was standing quietly beside him. Later, you will take out 100,000 units of stone and those metal materials and give them to the craftsman Angel Carol to gather the materials needed to build the City of Angels. As for other basic resources, temporarily store them in the belt. Okay, my lord, Angelica nodded respectfully. Then, Lin Yu counted the other gains. More than 36,000 gold coins, 259 pieces of equipment, 148 various blueprints. In addition, there are 5 green packages containing spiritual rice seeds, and 7 shiny silver-level stronghold treasure chests. Gold coins, equipment, and spiritual rice seeds are basically all from the hunting harvests of the various legion teams in the territory in the wild world. Blueprints, on the other hand, are mostly from the destroyed 7 local strongholds. Destroying the local strongholds can get a large number of blueprints. After thinking for a while, Lin Yu summoned the 6-winged angel Elena and the dark elf Doris to the Lord's Hall, and asked them to pick up equipment and blueprints with Angelica. Because there are too many. More than 200 pieces of equipment and more than 100 blueprints. If Lin Yu checked alone, he didn't know when he would finish. Leave this task to Angelica and the other 2, and Lin Yu only needs to open his treasure chest. At this time, a group of dark elves poured into the Lord's Hall, led by the elf blacksmith Nicole. Each dark elf was holding a large amount of equipment in his arms. The total number was more than 900 pieces. This was the output of the blacksmith shop for one working day. Well, now Angelica and the other 2 would need to work even harder. Fortunately, Lin Yu had completely become a hands-off shopkeeper, focusing only on his base treasure chest. The 7 base treasure chests were all shining white. Lin Yu couldn't wait to open them one by one. Soon, a series of information prompts appeared in his mind. Congratulations, Lord Lin Yu, you have successfully opened a silver-level base treasure chest. You get 5,000 units of food, wood, each. You get 1,000 gold coins. You get 1 goblin unit. You get 2 unit evolution blueprints. You get 300 honor points and 1,000 reputation points. Congratulations, Lord Lin Yu, you have successfully opened. You get 7,000 units of food, wood, each. You get 1,000 gold coins. You get 3 unit evolution blueprints. You get 1 forest troll horn. You get 300 honor points and 1,000 reputation points. Respectfully, Lord Lin Yu. All 7 silver-level stronghold treasure chests have been opened. Lin Yu's face is full of smiles. 7 treasure chests harvested a total of 41,000 units of food, wood, stone, and iron ore. 7,000 gold coins, total of various blueprints, 7 blueprints for the evolution of arms, 3 blueprints for the number of arms, 1 blueprint for upgrading the territory wall, and 2 blueprints for forging low-level equipment. Another piece of equipment was opened. Lin Yu took it out from a pile of items. The shape of this equipment looks like a bull's horn, but it is much bigger, more than 1 meter long. The hole is curved. There are holes at both ends, which can be blown. When you put your ear on it, you can also hear the roar of unknown creatures. This roar will make people feel excited. Lin Yu immediately checked the information of this equipment: forest troll horn, level, king, type, special equipment, durability. 100, special effect 1, summon trolls, blow it, and the forest trolls in the nearby area will be summoned and gather towards the position of the horn blower. Special effect 2, war inspiration, its horn sound can make the forest trolls have more powerful combat power. Introduction, this is an equipment belonging to the forest trolls. If you are another intelligent race, please use it with caution. Otherwise, you may be torn to pieces by the summoned forest trolls. Good stuff. Lin Yu's eyes lit up. In his hand, this equipment is a complete believer summoner. When entering the wild world, you can let the angel blow the horn to summon the nearby forest trolls, and then take them away directly with a set of faith magic. It's perfect. Lin Yu handed the forest troll horn to Angelica, who is sorting out the drawings. Seeing the information of this equipment, Angelica also instantly understood the Lord of Holy Light's meaning. Then, Lin Yu took out 7 drawings, emitting a faint golden light from a pile of treasure chest drawings. His expression was a little regretful. Because these 7 drawings are army evolution drawings, not exclusive arm evolution drawings. The former can only be used for non-exclusive arms of the territory. In other words, his angels cannot use them. Lin Yu thought about it and handed the 7 army evolution drawings to the sexy and charming dark elf Doris. These drawings can help you achieve bloodline evolution and have higher growth potential. You can use them later. Well, use them after entering the spiritual field. The success rate will be higher. Chapter 138. The dark elf Doris trembled as she took the evolutionary blueprint handed over by Lin Yu. The excitement in her heart could not be described in words. Although the dark elves, like the natural elves, belong to the high-level intelligent races of this world, their talents are higher than most other intelligent races. But it is still difficult to become a god. Even becoming a demigod and mastering the power of the law is a very distant dream. Doris also fantasized about being promoted to demigod, or even overthrowing the throne of the Dark Elf Queen and sitting on it herself. But she also knew that it was just a fantasy after all. In the absence of special opportunities, it would be great if she could be promoted to the level of the saint in the future. Although the Dark Elves are defined as the top soldier by the floating island, with a potential for growth to the saint level, they can only rely on practice to improve their level before joining the Lord's professional. Practice and advancement rely not only on growth potential, but also on various external factors. Whether you can step into the saint level depends on your own fate. However, after joining the Lord, external factors are not important at all. Because you only need to keep killing enemies, growing into a saint-level strongman is a sure thing. When I was in the tribe, the demigod realm is a luxury for me, but now, the opportunity has come. Dark Elf Doris took a deep breath, and her delicate face could not hide the excitement. The Lord of Holy Light gave her a precious blueprint that allowed her to realize the evolution of her talent. This is her hope to climb to the demigod realm. Praise you, great Lord of Holy Light. Doris knelt down in front of Lin Yu excitedly. Under the translucent black tulle skirt is a sexy and seductive perfect body. The exaggerated curves and amazing roundness made Lin Yu feel hot inside. He glanced at the sky outside. Darkness had completely fallen, and sometimes the roar of the dead could be heard. But for Lin Yu, this would be another wonderful night. Get up, Lin Yu smiled and said, I also hope that you can have the growth potential of a demigod or even a true god. In this way, you will also be qualified to step into the battlefield of the 10,000 worlds in the future, Doris said excitedly. It is Doris's honor to be favored by you. I will definitely work hard to improve myself and become an immortal god, so as not to let you down. Yeah, Lin Yu nodded slightly. Then he asked Doris to continue to deal with the equipment and drawings. At the same time, he took out 4 treasure chest drawings again. Among them, 3 were drawings of the number of arms, and 1 was an upgrade drawing for low-level walls. The 3 troop quantity blueprints were also low-level, and could summon 300 elite goblins and 300 elite forest trolls respectively. He did not hesitate, and immediately went outside the hall and chose to use the blueprints. Soon, accompanied by a brilliant golden light, 600 elite goblins and 300 fully armed forest trolls appeared in front of him. Compared with those local goblin believers and forest troll believers, these elites summoned by the blueprints were at least one level stronger in terms of combat effectiveness and momentum. As for the level of faith, it was also at the fanatic level. Then, Lin Yu used the low-level wall upgrade blueprint. His territory wall was already at a low level, so he could use this blueprint to upgrade it to another level. A moment later, with a rumbling sound and the vibration of the ground, the wall of the territory became more majestic and thicker at a speed visible to the naked eye. The low-level wall is about 4 meters high and 2 meters wide, with a durability of 5,000 points. Now it has been upgraded to the intermediate level. The height of the wall has reached 7 meters and the width has reached more than 3 meters. The durability has soared to 10,000 points, achieving a surge in defense power. Even a king-level monster would find it difficult to destroy it with one blow. Forget about jumping over the wall or flying over it directly. If you want to attack the territory of a Lord Professional, you must first destroy the wall. Even if a local demigod comes, he must first pass the wall. This is also the rule of the floating island. Outside the territory, dense undead creatures are gathering around. There are so many of them that it's like a natural disaster of undead. The strange phenomenon that appeared when the wall was upgraded attracted their attention, and they rushed to Lin Yu's territory like a tide. However, at a distance of when they were about 200 meters away from the wall, the undead were forced to stop, as if they dared not get any closer. The spiritual field outside the territory was also a restricted area for the undead. Given the current situation, I believe that most Lord Professionals would not dare to upgrade rashly even if they met all the conditions for upgrading a town, especially those Lord Professionals with low-level and mid-level arms. They must level up and improve the strength of the territory. Without strong enough strength to protect the territory, once the town is upgraded, it will be a dead end. Unfortunately, the 10,000 Worlds floating island will not let the Lord Professionals lie flat all the time. Lin Yu specifically asked about the 10,000 Worlds floating island. He knew that the Lord Professionals only had 3 months of lying flat at most. Starting from the day of the advent, 3 months later, whether the Lord Professionals' territory was upgraded to the town level or not, the floating island's protection of the territory would disappear. At that time, the monsters and intelligent races of the floating island will declare a full-scale war on the Lord Professionals in various regions. If you lie down in the early stage, you will definitely die after 3 months. This is also one of the ways that Floating Island of All Worlds encourages Lord Professionals to move forward bravely. But then again, the protection period of 3 months. The floating island is already very kind. If nothing unexpected happens, most Lord Professionals will be able to meet the conditions for upgrading to town within 2 months. The remaining month, it is a welfare period given by the Mother of the Rules to the Lord Professionals to develop their card levels. If you can't resist the attacks of local monsters and intelligent races, then even if you are eliminated, you should not be worthy of the sympathy of the Mother of the Rules of the floating island. Of course, Lin Yu will not lie down for those long 3 months. As long as the construction of Angel City is completed and the conditions for upgrading the territory are met, he will immediately upgrade the territory to town and unlock the summoning authority of the 8-winged angel. If during this period, an angel is promoted to the saint level, he will also choose to upgrade the territory. It is not his character to survive and grow. Lin Yu continued to deal with other spoils, mainly gold coins. A whole day's hunting harvest, plus the gold coins obtained from opening treasure chests, and the equipment and drawings sold before, I now have a total of 57,329 gold coins. Lin Yu took a deep breath. This is a very exaggerated number. The most important thing is that this amount of gold coins can allow him to summon 2 full-scale angel legions at one time. It is an angel legion, not an angel team. A small angel legion is composed of 10 angel teams, including 1 6-winged angel, 10 4-winged angels, and 500 2-winged angels. To summon one, it costs 28,000 gold coins. 2 legions, that is 56,000 gold coins. Not only enough, but there will be some left. Lin Yu did not hesitate and immediately communicated with the Floating Island of All Worlds to start summoning the black hole. Chapter 139. Soon, dense starlight appeared in the black hole. Lin Yu's first reaction was to look for dark red starlight. This time, he summoned 2 angel legions, including 2 6-winged angels, and there was a certain probability that fallen angels would appear. But soon, he was disappointed again. No starlight was dark red. Lin Yu could only comfort himself. Among the 6 winged angels, in addition to the orthodox faction of the Angel of Power, the Angel of Power and the Angel of Strength, there are also various special angels. It is normal that the fallen angels were not summoned more in the future. The figure of the fallen angel will always appear. As Lin Yu muttered to himself, countless starlights turned into beautiful and holy figures and flew out of the black hole. In the blink of an eye, the entire Lord's Hall was filled. The first batch of angels that flew out of the black hole even needed to leave the hall to make room for the angels behind, just because the area of the Lord's Hall was not large enough. It can be seen from this. The upgrade of the territory is still necessary. The small Lord's Hall cannot accommodate too many angels. As long as his Lord's Hall can accommodate tens of thousands of angels at a time, the prestige will instantly rise. In less than a minute, all the angels summoned this time came. The black hole also disappeared. Led by 2 6-winged angels and 24 winged angels, a full 1,002 winged angels all saluted respectfully towards Lin Yu. Originally, the number of angels under Lin Yu's command was more than 2,000. After this summoning, the number of angels under his command suddenly soared to more than 3,000. This is very scary. If it were other Lord professionals, they would not have such a big capital to summon so many arms at one time, and each of them was an angel with a high price. Just from the number. Even Lord professionals with low-level arms can't do it. They have to spend 5,000 gold coins to summon 1,000 low-level arms. They are not strong enough, the number of wild monsters they hunt is not large, and they can't capture the strongholds of local forces. Where does so much small money come from? Lin Yu cast his eyes on the 2 6-winged angels standing at the front of the angel army. The slightly disappointed mood because of the failure to summon the fallen angel suddenly improved. Among the 2 6-winged angels, one is obviously a power angel. She wears platinum-colored armor, holds an angel sword burning with flames, and has 3 pairs of snow-white angel wings behind her, which are the same as the 6-winged power angel Renee. But the other 6-winged angel is dressed differently. Although she wears the same platinum-colored armor, the 3 pairs of angel wings behind her are obviously wider and heavier, and the angel sword in her hand is also in a different shape. Her angel sword is wider than the normal angel sword. At least 30 centimeters. The thickness is also about 5 centimeters. It looks like a sword-shaped shield. On the sword body, there is also a huge cross rune engraved. This is obviously a special angel. Good luck, I summoned another special angel. Lin Yu also smiled, and then checked the information of this special angel. 6-winged angel, type, punishment, initial level, king level, growth potential, lower true god, possessed combat skills, holy punishment, light of the holy sword. Judgment of the holy angel, introduction. The punishment angel is a special angel. Although it does not belong to any faction, it often accompanies angels of the orthodox faction. The main job of the punishment angel is to punish and execute all blasphemy, slander, and evil heretics who refuse to believe in the supreme creator. This angel is so powerful, although the growth potential is still at the level of the lower true god, the initial level has reached the king level, surpassing the 6-winged angel next to it, and can be compared with a fallen angel. In addition, they are also special angels. The initial level of the artisan angel Carol is only level 9. By comparing them, it can be seen that the punishment angel is an angel with extremely strong combat power. Except for the unequal size. In other aspects, it should not be inferior to the fallen angel Gladys. Lin Yu thought for a moment, and said to the serious, yet equally beautiful and holy angel of punishment in front of him, from now on, your name the name is Casillan. After a pause, Lin Yu named the 6-winged angel Asuna. So far, Lin Yu has 8 6-winged angels under his command. Praise you, great Lord of Holy Light, thank you for the name, the angel of punishment, Casillan, and the 6-winged angel, Asuna. Both saluted Lin Yu excitedly, their 2 pairs of golden eyes shining brightly and beautifully. Well, Lin Yu nodded slightly. And he appointed them as the 2 angel legion leaders at the same time. Then, he turned his attention to the 4 winged angels behind them. 24 winged angels, without exception, all looked at him eagerly and expectantly. However, Lin Yu could only disappoint them. With so many 4-winged angels, it would be a bit of a waste of words to name them one by one. He just wanted to see how many of them were 4-winged archangels. Soon he discovered that among the 24 winged angels, 6 were 4-winged archangels of the divine magic type, and the rest were four-winged angels of the war type. In this way, the number of four-winged dark angels under his command exceeded 10. It will also be easier to spread faith. Lin Yu believed that with so many four-winged dark angels, the number of his believers would soon double again. Lin Yu said to the four-winged angels, "When you come to this world, you must work hard to improve yourself and strive to step into a higher level as soon as possible. When you are promoted to six-winged angels one day, I will give you names." Hearing this, the four-winged angels were not disappointed, but were extremely excited. They praised the great, kind, and loving Lord of Holy Light in unison. It is also the highest honor to receive the promise of the Lord of Holy Light. You retreat first, gather the legion later and go out to purify those evil undead creatures, Lin Yu said to the six-winged angel Asuna and the angel of punishment Casilin. Yes, the Supreme Lord. Without hesitation, the two six-winged angels immediately led their respective angel legions out of the Lord's Hall, and quickly gathered in the territory square, waiting for the arrival of the war oracle. But at this moment the angel of punishment, Casilin, seemed to have sensed something. His eyes suddenly turned to a corner of the square. In the center of the blank area, there stood a huge blood shadow, which was the six-winged fallen angel Gladys, who was 7 meters tall. She looked down at everything around her like a blood-armored female war god. At the same time, Gladys also cast her eyes over. She looked at the angel of punishment, Casilin, without flinching, and the corners of her mouth slightly raised, and it was unclear whether it was a sneer or a mockery. Fallen. The angel of punishment, Casilin, gritted her teeth and whispered, her expression solemn. Her full chest rose and fell slightly. It can be seen that she was not calm. If the fallen had not received the mercy of the Lord of Holy Light, she would have cut off the sword of punishment in her hand at the first time. But even if she did not do it, she still held the hilt of the sword of punishment tightly, as if suppressing the hostility in her heart. It can be seen that on the broadsword body of the sword of punishment, the rune of the cross flashed with an extremely bright light, and pure sacred power emerged. She decided. Later, she would kill more undead creatures, to calm her restless inner world. Now, I have 8 six-winged angels and 6 small angel legions, but there are only 5 legion leaders. They are Elena, Renee, Pamela, and Casilin and Asuna, who were just summoned the other 3 six-winged angels. Angelica is not interested in power. As the first six-winged angel under my command, I gave her the opportunity to choose freely. Carol is a craftsman angel and is building the city of angels. Gladys is a fallen angel and is not suitable to lead the angel legion of the Orthodox faction. Lin Yu can only hope that a 4-winged angel will achieve blood evolution and give him a surprise, so that he can have 6 legion commanders. At this time, Angelica came over and said respectfully to Lin Yu, "My lord, the equipment and drawings have been sorted and classified." "Good," Lin Yu nodded. He felt that Angelica had the potential to be a secretary. If there is something, she can do it. Afterwards, Lin Yu put the useless equipment and drawings sorted out by Angelica and the other 2 on the island trading platform, in batches. There are a total of 1,176 pieces of equipment. Ordinary equipment is sold by level. Top quality equipment is sold at auction. Blueprints are sold at normal prices. In the end, Lin Yu still had 106 blueprints left, all of which were needed for his territory, such as wooden house blueprints, arrow tower blueprints, etc. After these blueprints were used up, the number of wooden houses in the territory increased directly to more than 1,500. All upgraded to high level, it can accommodate more than 75,000 territory residents. In addition, the number of arrow towers has increased to 234, which are still low-level buildings for the time being. After dealing with these, Lin Yu returned to the Lord's Hall. Opening the island trading platform, he watched countless combat professionals scramble for the equipment he put on the shelves. Nearly 1,200 pieces of equipment. On average, one piece of equipment sells for 200 gold coins, which is 240,000 gold coins, but it must be more than that, because there are many top-quality equipment. The price is even higher, hundreds of thousands of gold coins. How many angel legions will be summoned? Lin Yu smiled brightly, full of joy and expectation. In comparison, the combat professionals on the island are all crazy. The combat professionals with some capital are scrambling for his equipment, fearing that they will lose it if they are a step slower. As for the Lord professionals, they are really crazy. Chapter 140. The Island Chat Channel. The atmosphere is hot and lively. Because at night, Tens of millions of professionals will gather here, chatting and sharing information. There is no other way. After the night falls, the combat professionals can only find a place to lie down. Not to mention entertainment activities, even snoring has to close the mouth, and dare not make any sound. Once they are discovered by the undead and demons in the wild world, they will surely die. For combat professionals, the only way they can kill time is to communicate with other professionals in the island chat channel or browse the trading platform. Unlike Lin Yu, there is a beautiful dark elf to hold and sleep. Nightlife is rich and colorful. Chat channel on the island, awesome. He put more than 1,000 pieces of equipment on the shelves at one time. He is worthy of being recognized as a big boss. Big boss Lin Yu is invincible, haha. I finally grabbed a piece of equipment. It is the armor of the human camp. The defense increased instantly. When I go to hunt those wild boars tomorrow, I won't be afraid of being pushed around. Envy, I was also grabbing it, but I was still a step slower and didn't grab it. It's not surprising. There are so many combat professionals on the island. Basically, everyone is short of equipment. Those who have a little money are all eyeing it. It's normal that they can't grab it. After all, the quantity is too small. There are only more than 1,000 pieces of equipment. If you are a little slower, you can't even see the shadow, the above. Is it not enough to sell so many pieces of equipment at one time? Don't forget that they all come from Lin Yu alone. Lin Yu made a lot of money this time. Hundreds of thousands of gold coins can be obtained at once. How many angels must be summoned? Not many. The number is equivalent to the total number of arms of 10 top lords. All the professionals on the island took a deep breath. Even if the calculation is low, Lin Yu only gained 200,000 gold coins from selling equipment this time. If an angel is 50 gold coins, then 4,000 angels can be summoned. What is the concept? Thinking of this, all the professionals in the chat channel were frightened. After all, there are thousands of angels. No matter which lord professional, as long as they face Lin Yu's angel army, they will all be killed instantly, without exception. Now on the island, no one can challenge Lin Yu's title of the strongest lord. I am very curious, where did Lin Yu get so many equipment from? Can his blacksmith shop produce hundreds or thousands of equipment a day? Of course, most of the equipment that boss Lin Yu put on the shelves this time are of level 2 to 3, and only a few are intermediate and advanced equipment. If nothing unexpected happens, those low-level equipment are made by Lin Yu's blacksmith shop. To make hundreds of pieces of equipment a day, this requires an intermediate blacksmith shop, right? Does Lin Yu have so many blacksmiths? Must have. I just asked about the floating island and learned that an intermediate blacksmith shop needs to be equipped with 10 to 20 blacksmiths, and can make 500 to 1,000 pieces of equipment a day. In other words, Lin Yu's territory already has at least 10 blacksmiths. Horror. As a lord professional, I haven't even seen what the local intelligent creatures look like. Let alone recruiting so many local blacksmiths. Nothing to be surprised about. Just look at the glory contribution list. Lin Yu's glory value increase can know that his angel army has captured a large number of local power bases today. Oh my god, the total honor value of Lin Yu has reached 4,900 points. Wasn't it 2,300 yesterday? Did it double in one day? In this case, it's not surprising that Lin Yu has so many local blacksmiths, but it's too scary. It's said that our lord professionals are the biological sons of the floating island. In my opinion, Lin Yu is the only biological son of the floating island. The other lord professionals are adopted. What about the combat professionals? Is there any need to ask? Of course they were kidnapped. A cordial greeting from a combat professional. Thank you so much. When countless professionals were arguing in the chat channel on the island about who was adopted and who was kidnapped, the Great Alliance channel, which was filled with a large number of alliance lords and top lords, was dead silent. The bigwigs in the channel were all shocked by Lin Yu's generosity. Selling thousands of equipment at a time was something they dared not even think about. The most important thing was, Lin Yu would become rich because of this. And after becoming rich, there would inevitably be a large-scale expansion of the Angel Legion. This made them feel creepy. Even though many of them had tens of thousands or even more than 100,000 alliance members under their command, they still felt their scalps tingling. We are in big trouble. It's not that the trouble is big, but the situation is getting more and more dangerous. Lin Yu's development speed has far surpassed ours. Even if he does nothing now, he can summon thousands of angels every day just by selling equipment. Within 10 days, he will have tens of thousands of angels under his command. In just 3 months, The size of his angel legion may exceed 1 million, a million angels. This is fucking impossible even if all our alliances are combined. How about we try to build a good relationship with Lin Yu? What kind of relationship? Go to hell. By the way, you are Lin Yu's lackey. He will definitely accept you. Fuck. How did I provoke you? If you call me a lackey again, I will turn against you. I'll turn against you. I'm not afraid of you. My army is the Death Knight, and I am destined to be an enemy of your light missionary. Sooner or later, we will have a fight. Keep calm. We are all one family. One family. What the hell? If you ask me, you should kick out all the lords who have the light camp army in the channel. Fuck. That being said, did our light camp lords provoke you? That's right. Even if we have soldiers from the light camp, we can still gather together and fight against Lin Yu's angel army. Stop talking bullshit. Your cardinals would love to worship Lin Yu's angels as their ancestors. If you dare to resist Lin Yu, those cardinals will definitely tie you to a cross and send you to Lin Yu, and those other lords of light. Do you think you can escape the punishment of the cross? Either you will be betrayed by your soldiers, or you will be a lackey for Lin Yu. Your choice. Fortunately, my soldiers do not belong to the light camp. Hell, that's even worse. You are a heretic in front of Lin Yu's angels, and they will roast you sooner or later? Okay, stop arguing with everyone you catch. What is the purpose of establishing this great alliance? Isn't it for common development and unity against the outside world? Now, the most important thing is to think about how to deal with Lin Yu. It is extremely difficult to deal with Lin Yu. What we have to do next is to build a blacksmith shop as soon as possible, forge equipment and sell it. In this way, we can not only improve our own strength, but also prevent Lin Yu from continuously collecting gold coins from those combat professionals. The key is that the blueprints of the blacksmith shop are too difficult to produce. Let's fight. Go and attack the strongholds of local forces. The probability of producing blueprints will be relatively higher. That's the only way. At Xiakengayu, beautiful leader, what are you doing? Thinking about how to resist Lin Yu's million angel army, Golden Behemoth Lord? Haha, Xiakengayu, when you took my title of the strongest alliance master, did you ever think that you would have this day? No, but I know that the Runkle Prairie is next to the Dark Forest. Don't scare me. Lin Yu wants to charge into the Runkle Prairie, but he will wait until his angel army can defeat several local superpowers in the Dark Forest. My intuition tells me that it will be soon. Do you think I will believe you? Chapter 141. The old man was in a mess, and the old man was in a mess. Damn skeleton mage, sooner or later I will kill you. In the desolate desert, Sikun Jun stood in his territory, roaring at the army of undead outside. His army, the Dark Fire Phoenix, has the blood of the Hell Phoenix. Among all the top arms, it is also extremely powerful. Originally, he thought that he could catch up with Lin Yu by relying on the gradually expanding Dark Fire Phoenix core. As a result, now, he is stuck here with a king-level skeleton mage. After the robbery last night, he became very cautious tonight. First, he sent a part of the Dark Fire Phoenix to be scouts. The remaining Dark Fire Phoenixes hunted the undead creatures near the territory. As soon as the figure of the king-level skeleton mage appeared, he would immediately order the Dark Fire Phoenix army to withdraw to the territory and not give it the opportunity to fleece the sheep. But the annoying thing is that the king-level skeleton mage has no martial ethics. Not only did he use special magic to hide his own magic fluctuations, but he also sneaked into the central area of the battlefield and killed a group of Dark Fire Phoenixes in an instant. Although Sikun Jun reacted quickly, he immediately ordered the Dark Fire Phoenix army to withdraw to the territory. But more than a dozen Dark Fire Phoenixes were still taken away by the king-level skeleton mage. The king-level skeleton mage waved a bone staff in his hand, and the dead Dark Fire Phoenixes all turned into huge skeleton birds, and loyally guarded around the king-level skeleton mage. This made Sikun Jun very angry. Young lord of another world, the king-level skeleton mage grinned and laughed silently. At this time, it was standing on the head of a skeleton fire phoenix, looking down at Sikun Jun in the territory. I haven't seen you for a day, and the number of Dark Fire Phoenixes in your territory has increased a lot. I can see that you are a hardworking and motivated child. I admire you very much. Get out. Sikun Jun was so angry that he almost vomited blood. He cursed at the king-level skeleton mage. This mean king-level skeleton mage not only took away more than a dozen of his Dark Fire Phoenixes, but also deliberately mocked him afterwards. It was really hateful. The most important thing is, the king-level skeleton mage has set his sights on him. He appears at night and fleeces him. In 2 nights, he has lost a full 20 dark fire phoenixes. He didn't die so many during the daytime hunting. And with his king-level skeleton mage around, he didn't dare to send the dark fire phoenix army out to hunt undead monsters. Not only did it cause him heavy losses, but it also affected his hunting progress at night. How could he not be angry? At this time, the king skeleton mage shook his spiritual power and said to Sikun Jun, "As long as you give me half of the dark fire phoenix, I will not bother you in the future." Sikun Jun immediately laughed angrily. "Skull, do you think I am a fool?" The king skeleton mage said, "Young man, pay attention to your quality and self-cultivation. Get out." Sikun Jun roared, and his lungs almost burst out. The king skeleton mage shook his head, seeming very disappointed. Then, it waved its bone staff and flew away with a group of skeleton fire phoenixes. Only one sentence was left: "I will come again tomorrow." Sikun Jun was immediately furious. However, he did not fall for the skeleton mage's trick. He knew it with his ass. The skeleton mage would not really leave, and must still be hiding in the dark. As long as he dared to send out the dark fire phoenix core with a fluke mentality, the guy named Skull would definitely jump out and fleece him. Damn it, how could I be so unlucky? I actually met such a cheap local king-level strong man. Sikun Jun had a splitting headache, and when he opened the island chat channel, his head hurt even more. It's Lin Yu again, selling thousands of equipment at a time, making a lot of money. The gold coins I got can probably summon thousands of angels directly. Sikun Jun took another look at the hundreds of dark fire phoenixes huddled in the territory, and inexplicably felt very miserable. He has always aimed to surpass Lin Yu. However, now, the gap is getting bigger and bigger. Whether it is the size of the army or his own level, he is far behind Lin Yu. After a day of hunting, his level is still in the late 4th level. This is because breaking through a large realm requires a lot of experience, which is the early 4th level. Upgraded to several times the level of the late 4th level. Originally wanted to make a breakthrough by hunting at night. As a result, the king-level skeleton mage refused to let him go. I'm afraid Lin Yu's level has already risen to level 7, Alice. Sikun Jun sighed and had a headache. Lord's Hall. Lin Yu put 2 drawings emitting a faint golden light into the warehouse. These are 2 low-level equipment forging drawings, which can be used to unlock the permission of the blacksmith shop to forge low-level equipment. His blacksmith shop has been unlocked long ago. Now he only needs to explode intermediate equipment forging drawings to directly forge intermediate equipment from level 4 to level 6. Therefore, these 2 drawings are of no use to him. He plans to put them away first and auction them when the time is right, thinking that he can get a high price. It is already late at night. All the legions in the territory have gone out to hunt undead creatures. So far, Lin Yu's level has also reached the late 8th level, and he believes that he will be able to directly upgrade to the 9th level tonight. There is another thing that Sikun Jun does not know. That is, Lin Yu's territory has also encountered a king-level enemy, and it is a skeleton king who has reached the late king level, and the threat level is higher than the one with the surname Skeleton. It's just that Skeleton King Ryan is unlucky. Not only did he fail to block the development progress of Lin Yu's territory, but he was killed by Lin Yu's angel. It is a case of dying before achieving success. Gladys gave me a surprise. I didn't expect that after a day of hunting, her level had already been promoted to the extraordinary realm, becoming the first soldier in my territory to be promoted to the extraordinary realm. When he first saw it, Lin Yu was also shocked. He did not expect that the promotion speed of the fallen angel Gladys could be so fast. He learned it after asking. The reason why Gladys was able to enter the extraordinary realm was because she devoured the 2-headed demon tribe. More than 13,000 2-headed demons in the tribe were all sucked into mummies by her. The huge blood power has forged Gladys's extraordinary path. Killing enemies will be rewarded with original power. And devouring blood power can also speed up growth. No wonder Gladys's promotion speed is so fierce. At the same time, Lin Yu also has more expectations for Gladys. I hope she can be promoted to the saint level as soon as possible. Master the power of the domain. At that time, he will be more confident to kill the giant kingdom. Lin Yu then came to the northeast area of the territory. The craftsman Angel Carol is still diligently building the City of Angels. And her assistant Dark Elves have also increased from more than 400 to more than 1,300, all of which are bred by the Dark Elf Mother Tree. A day has passed. The foundation of the City of Angels has been laid. It is 8,000 meters long and wide, very huge. When observing from a close distance, the shock is even stronger. However, Lin Yu did not disturb the craftsman Angel Carol, and turned to go to the spiritual field. In the spiritual field, a bright ball of light was suspended. It can be vaguely seen that there is an extremely sexy figure in the ball of light, which is the dark elf Doris. Chapter 142. The golden ball of light was suspended in the air. Sometimes, a brilliant light burst out, like even breathing. Lin Yu stood quietly by the side, silently watching the sexy figure in the ball of light. Before he came, the dark elf Doris had used up all 7 army evolution blueprints. Now wrapped in the ball of light, evolving to a higher level. Lin Yu has great confidence in Doris. The reason is that Doris's growth potential is only at the peak of the saint level. The lower the growth potential, the higher the possibility of successful evolution. Previously, Elena, who had the potential to grow to the peak of a demigod, relied on a few equally low-level, exclusive soldier evolution blueprints to advance to the level of a 6-winged angel, and her growth potential entered the level of a true god. Lin Yu believed that Doris would also succeed. Time passed quickly. 2 hours passed in the blink of an eye. However, the light ball remained the same. This made Lin Yu feel puzzled, and he said to himself, "Strange, why hasn't there been any movement after so long? It took Eleanor less than an hour to evolve into a 6-winged angel." He was puzzled as to why Doris needed longer. Did something unexpected happen during the evolution? Lin Yu was a little worried, and he didn't want Doris to get into trouble. Doris was a sexy and enchanting dark elf. She was very obedient and talented, and she learned everything very quickly. Her body was also very flexible. Basically, there was no posture that could stump her. Therefore, Lin Yu did not leave. He was watching the changes in the light ball while opening the island trading platform to check. After nearly 3 hours, all the more than 1,000 pieces of equipment he put on the shelf had been sold, including the top quality equipment that was auctioned, which were all taken away. In addition, some drawings were also bought by some lord professionals. For example, fence drawings and warehouse drawings. He took another look at his personal information panel. The number in the gold coin reserve column made Lin Yu gasp. His pupils also dilated instantly. If you look closely, you will find that his originally black and white pupils seem to be stained with a trace of golden light. "This is really a night of wealth," Lin Yu said to himself with a shocked expression. He worked hard for so many days, but all the gold coins he gained added up, not as big as this number. Just because, this is a 6-digit number. To be more precise, it is 369,481 gold coins. This number is enough to drive any lord professional, or even combat professional crazy. Even Lin Yu himself was stunned for a moment. Nearly 1,200 pieces of equipment, on average, one piece of equipment sold for about 330 gold coins. That's about right. Of course, that's not important. What's important is that these nearly 370,000 gold coins can allow me to summon 13 fully staffed angel legions, 13 small angel legions, a total of more than 6,600 angels. After this wave of summons, the angel legion under Lin Yu will directly reach a scale of 10,000 people. This is a very terrifying thing. Lin Yu also took a breath again, suppressing the shock in his heart, and said to himself, "After so many days of development, I only have more than 3,000 angels under my command. Once this wave of equipment is sold, I can immediately summon more than 6,600 angels, bringing the total size of the angel army to 10,000. In the world of novels, this is a direct collapse of combat power. Readers abandon the book. After being shocked, Lin Yu grinned again. The pattern is still small. When I conquer this floating island, I will have all the gold mines and resources in various regions in my hands. Don't even mention summoning 6,000 angels by then. Even summoning 60 million angels a day is not impossible." Thinking of this, Lin Yu's mood quickly calmed down. At this time, the light ball he had been paying attention to suddenly trembled. The movement was very slight, but it was still captured by Lin Yu. He immediately turned off the personal information panel. Pay close attention to the evolutionary light ball floating in the air in front of him. The vibration just now was not an illusion. Because soon, the light ball trembled again. Then, the frequency of the movement began to increase. Gradually, tiny cracks appeared on the surface of the light ball, and then spread rapidly around like a spider web, and finally covered the entire light ball. "It's coming out," Lin Yu's slightly excited voice. Endless light burst out from the cracks on the surface of the light ball. That scene was just like the starting with an egg, hatching an ancient beast in a certain advertisement. Suddenly, there was a bang. The light ball exploded violently, and the sky was full of golden starlight. Brilliant and dazzling. Lin Yu, with his eyes slightly narrowed, quickly locked onto a curvy figure in the golden light. The next moment, his expression froze. The person was still the same person. But there was a difference. Because behind the figure, there was a pair of wings. At first, Lin Yu thought he was dazzled, but after a closer look, he found that it was indeed a pair of wings. However, the pair of wings did not exist in reality. It looks like it is condensed by magic. It is light gold and translucent. The shape is somewhat similar to the wings of a butterfly. Sometimes golden light flows on the surface of the wings, giving people a very dreamy feeling. What's going on? Lin Yu was surprised. He didn't understand why Doris evolved a pair of wings. It was just a bloodline evolution, and it was enough to increase the level and growth potential limit. What does it mean that a pair of wings suddenly appeared? Although he was not well informed, he knew that whether it was a dark elf or a natural elf, there were no wings behind them. As for whether the elemental elves had wings, he couldn't be sure. Could it be that this time Doris evolved herself into an elemental elf? Thinking carefully, it seems not impossible. After all, they are all elves. As the golden light dissipated, Doris stepped on the void and walked towards Lin Yu. The translucent wings behind her made her more sexy and beautiful. The light golden glow also added a noble temperament to her. She quickened her pace and came quickly. Finally, she came close to Lin Yu and knelt down with an excited expression. "My lord, I succeeded." Doris was very excited, and even her voice was trembling. Lin Yu nodded slightly, asked Doris to stand up, and then reached out to touch the pair of light wings behind her. As a result, he touched nothing. The light wings seemed to exist in reality, but they could not be touched. Lin Yu asked curiously, "What's the matter with your wings?" Doris explained excitedly, reporting to the Lord of Holy Light. "I accidentally revived the blood of the ancient elves in my body during the evolution process, so I derived this pair of wings of law. The wings of law are the symbol of the ancient elves. It can help the ancient elves easily perceive the power of the laws between heaven and earth, so as to be promoted to demigods, or even become immortal gods." That means, Lin Yu looked at Doris, who was becoming more and more beautiful in front of him. "You are no longer a dark elf, but an ancient elf." "Yes, my lord." Doris's delicate face was full of excitement. The ancient great elves are the source of the blood of all elves regardless of faction. However, as time goes by, the blood has been diluted, and the ancient great elves have become extinct in this world. With my current identity as an ancient great elf, whether returning to the empire of our dark elves or going to the elf garden in this forest, I can get the highest level of courtesy, but these are meaningless to me. Doris looked at Lin Yu with bright eyes. "The only thing I want to do most is to serve you." "Yeah," Lin Yu smiled and nodded. He liked this sentence very much. At the same time, he opened Doris's information panel to check. Ancient Great Elf Doris, level, late extraordinary, growth potential, lower true god. Introduction: the patriarch of the Dark Elf tribe, the ancient Great Elf with revived blood, has a very high growth potential limit, as well as a lofty identity and status in the elves, and is a worthy soldier to be cultivated vigorously. "Doris, you gave me a surprise," Lin Yu said in surprise. He originally thought that after Doris's successful evolution, her growth potential would at most break through the saint level and enter the demigod stage. But he didn't expect that she actually revived the blood of the ancient great elves. The potential for success directly reached the level of a true god. For Doris now, she can already be comparable to a six-winged angel. In addition, her level has also skyrocketed. Before evolution, Doris was in the late king level. After evolution, her level broke through to the late extraordinary level, achieving a leap in realm. Looking at the entire territory, Doris's level is now the highest. In addition to her, there is the fallen angel Gladys, who has just stepped into the extraordinary realm. Doris did not dare to take credit, and hurriedly said respectfully, "All my achievements come from your favor. Without you, the great Lord of Holy Light, I am still just a little dark elf." Lin Yu grinned. He likes such praise. "Let's go. Follow me back to the territory." After a slight pause, Lin Yu said, "You don't have to participate in the war with the undead tonight. I will take you to consolidate the extraordinary realm." "Okay, my lord." Doris's elf ears quickly flushed, responding to Lin Yu like a low hum. Under the translucent black tulle skirt, One could see her sexy and enchanting body trembling slightly, but she walked briskly, following Lin Yu closely. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 143. After the battle, the two sides of the battle were defeated. Back to the territory. The first thing Lin Yu did was to summon angels. Let's start. Lin Yu glanced at the long string of numbers on the personal information panel. Took a breath. Then he communicated with Wanji Floating Island, and opened the summoning black hole. This time, he was going to summon 13 small angel legions with full strength, a total of 6,643 angels, and a total consumption of 364,000 gold coins. This was the largest scale summoning Lin Yu had carried out since he boarded the floating island. It was enough to shake the entire floating island when it was spread out. After all, it was 13 legions. Of course, this was not the last time. As the power of Lin Yu's territory expands wildly, the amount of gold coins he harvests every day will be even greater, and it is possible that this summoning record will be broken soon. A dark elf wearing a black gauze dress. Oh no, it's the ancient great elf Doris, standing quietly beside Lin Yu. Like Lin Yu, she closely watched the summoned darkness suspended in the air. You can see that her eyes are no longer dark red, but gem-like emerald green. This represents a change in her identity. Doris is very curious about what is behind the black hole. And not only her, Lin Yu is also curious. However, Lin Yu can roughly guess that the back of the summoned black hole should be the base camp of the angel clan. There are endless angels there. Lin Yu feels that if he can pass through the black hole and enter the base camp of the angel clan, then he may be able to abandon the summoning medium of gold coins. Without gold coins, he can have a terrifying army of angels. It can even breed angels on its own. Because in the angel clan, there is an arms building that can directly breed angels, the angel reincarnation pool. You don't have to think about it. There must be a lot of angel reincarnation pools in the base camp. As long as he can control the base camp of the angel clan, not only can his territory surge in power, but he can also have a steady stream of new angels. To put it bluntly, his current achievements and the angel army under his command, compared to the base camp of the angel clan, I'm afraid it's not even a hair. As long as he enters the base camp, he can soar into the sky and become a veritable supreme creator. That coolness, all of a sudden. In a short while dense starlight appeared in the black hole. Lin Yu did not look for the dark red starlight, because the number of starlight was too much, and he was dazzled. He only needed to wait for a moment, and the result would come out naturally. Soon, a series of tall and fully armed figures, accompanied by a torrent of holy light, emerged from the black hole. These figures were all extremely beautiful and holy. The appearance of angels was flawless. In this regard, no race could surpass angels, not even elves. In just a blink of an eye, the Lord's Hall was filled with angels. The first angel summoned had to leave the Lord's Hall to make room for the angels behind. Every time this happened, Lin Yu would feel that the level of his territory was too low. As a result, the space of the Lord's Hall was also very small, and even the summoned angels could not be accommodated. But in fact, his Lord's Hall was very spacious. After all, it was already a high-level village. It was no problem to accommodate hundreds of angels at a time. The main reason is that Lin Yu summoned too many angels this time, more than 6,000, which naturally makes the hall look very small. The summoning is still going on. 3 minutes have passed. But angels are still pouring out of the black hole. Occasionally, there will be 6 winged angels with very strong auras, as well as 4 winged dark angels holding divine staffs. Finally, another 2 or 3 minutes have passed. All the angels have been summoned, and the black hole has disappeared as expected. At this moment, in the Lord's Hall, more than 100 angels gathered. In the lead, there are 13 6-winged angels. Behind them stand a full 134 winged angels. Further back, outside the Lord's Hall, more than 6,000 fully armed 2-winged angels gathered, each holding a burning gold in the flaming angel swords. They were neatly arrayed and had the same shape. They had amazing momentum, strong fighting spirit, and extremely fanatical spirit. It gave people the feeling that even if a true god descended, they would dare to rush up and chop a few knives collectively. Inside the hall, 13 six-winged angels stood in the front. Under their leadership, all the 4-winged angels and 2-winged angels saluted Lin Yu with great reverence and enthusiasm. More than 6,000 angels praised the benevolent, fraternal, and supreme Lord of Holy Light in unison. The scene was very shocking. Doris, who was standing behind Lin Yu, had a stiff face. As a legendary ancient elf, she was qualified to look down on all the creatures in this world. But all did not seem to include angels. In front of the angels, she felt that she needed to be cautious and humble, otherwise she would be torn to pieces by the large group of 6-winged angels. The ancient great elves don't seem to be anything. These 6-winged angels summoned by the Holy Lord are all comparable to the ancient great elves. Thinking of this, Doris immediately put away her little pride. Lin Yu didn't pay attention to Doris, who was full of strange ideas. His eyes were focused on the 13 six-winged angels. Among them, 7 were 6-winged angels of power. 3 holding divine staffs were 6-winged angels of energy. 2 wearing exquisite crowns, they were 6-winged angels of power. No special angels appeared in this summoning, but Lin Yu was not disappointed. Special angels only appear with a probability. Whether they can be summoned depends on his luck. Lin Yu felt that his luck this time was pretty good. Because the 13th 6-winged angel that appeared was a 6-winged fallen angel. Like Gladys, she wore blood-colored armor, held a blood-dripping sword, was 7 meters tall, and had 3 pairs of huge wings as black as ink on her back. She was like a blood-armored female war god. She looked down at all the angels of the Orthodox faction in the hall. Her expression was cold and her pupils were blood-red. She exuded an extremely evil aura. It was the power from hell, which made the 6-winged angels nearby unwilling to approach her and kept away. However, when her eyes fell on Lin Yu, her cold eyes softened instantly. Her eyes were full of reverence. Her expression also showed a kind of fanaticism. The fallen angels disrespected the 18-winged dark angels who were in charge of the Angel Clan's base camp. They were only loyal to the Supreme Creator who created the Angel Clan. Before this, when the Supreme Creator had not returned, they were led by the 18-winged fallen archangels. Chapter 144. Lin Yu summoned the fallen angel. "What's your name?" Reporting to the Supreme Creator, the fallen angel held the hilt of the bloody sword in one hand, resting the tip of the sword on the ground, and knelt on one knee in front of Lin Yu, answering with great respect, "My name is Zawaliya, your loyal servant." Angels regard themselves as servants of the Supreme Creator. Whether they are holy angels or fallen angels, it's the same. "Very good, Zawaliya." Lin Yu smiled and nodded, saying, "I believe that your arrival will make my territory stronger, and I believe that the fallen angel sword in your hand will become a nightmare in the hearts of the enemies. Praise you, great Creator. Zawaliya will swear allegiance to you until eternity." The voice of the fallen angel Zawaliya trembled slightly, and she bowed her head deeply to Lin Yu. The most exciting thing for the fallen angels to be favored by the Creator is that they are willing to be a sharp sword in the hands of the Creator. Kill all enemies who blaspheme the Creator. For this, they can pay any price, including their lives. "Very good." Lin Yu smiled and nodded, and said to the fallen angel Zawaliya, "You and Gladys should cooperate well, work together, and make progress together. Obey your oracle." The fallen angel Zawaliya obeyed respectfully. Then, at Lin Yu's signal, she respectfully left the Lord's Hall. Wherever she walked, all the holy angels made way. Of course, the holy angels were not afraid of the fallen angels. Instead, they avoided the power of hell on the fallen angels. The beautiful and holy angels were worried that their hearts would also be infected by the power of hell, and thus forced to become evil fallen ones. However, Sylvia didn't care. She walked straight out of the Lord's Hall. After coming outside, she spread out 3 pairs of huge black wings behind her. The length of her wings reached a full 10 meters, exceeding her height. The sense of the picture was very strong. Then, between the wings, Sylvia soared into the sky. In the blink of an eye, she arrived at the battlefield outside the territory. She fell from the sky and fell heavily to the ground. There was only a loud bang. The air waves rolled, and the terrible power of hell swept across. Suddenly, within a radius of 200 meters, all the undead creatures were shattered. Even their soul fires also disintegrated, turning into pure soul power and being swallowed up by the sword of the fallen angel in her hand. "This is a perfect slaughter world." A trace of satisfaction appeared on Zawaliya's delicate and beautiful face, but then she said regretfully, "It's a pity that the status of the creatures is too low." At this moment, a blood shadow suddenly flew from the distant sky. It soon fell from the sky. Zawaliah, Gladys, the two fallen angels met and hugged each other in the next second. Just like close comrades in arms. After the end, Gladys casually slashed out a sword light, cutting a group of undead creatures rushing in from afar into two pieces, and asked, "Is there anything wrong in the divine realm?" "No." Silveria shook her head and said, "With the favor of the Creator, even if those archangels hate us, they can only let our army leave hell." "This is good news." Gladys breathed a sigh of relief and asked again, "When will His Majesty come?" Silveria said, "I don't know, but His Majesty is preparing something. The power of that thing can allow all fallen angels to descend on this world on a large scale." "Great," Gladys couldn't help but exclaimed. Looking at those holy angels descending on the floating island in groups, she was somewhat envious. At this time, Zawaliah said, "When I left the territory, I saw someone building the angel city." "Yes," Gladys nodded and said, "that was a craftsman angel summoned by the Creator, named Carol. In about 9 days, the angel city will be completed." "How?" Zawaliah sneered and said, "The angel city of the holy camp is outdated, and our fallen angel's hull battleship is the most powerful war weapons. Wait for our engineers to come. When the Creator builds the hell battleship, the Creator will definitely pay more attention to our fallen angels." Hearing this, Gladys also immediately showed a trace of longing. After that, there was no more communication. The two fallen angels looked at each other and killed the undead creatures in other areas. Another fallen one has arrived. In the distance, there is a battlefield area. The angel of punishment, Caroline, looked at the two huge blood shadows that disappeared in an instant with a serious expression. Compared with other holy angels, she is more wary of the fallen angels and is full of hostility. Because she is a punitive angel. Hate evil as much as she hates evil. She really dislikes these fallen from hell. However, the will of the Lord of Holy Light is not something that a small six-winged angel like her can change. So, she can only calm her inner restlessness by killing the undead creatures on the battlefield. The holy light flashed. Caroline rushed into the area where the undead creatures were most densely populated. Evil, filthy undead creatures, she raised the white and thick angel sword in her hand, which was like a sword and shield, and roared, "Who allowed you to appear here and defile the territory of the Lord of Holy Light? Accept the punishment of the holy power." Instantly, dazzling light burst out from the huge angel sword. The holy light poured out and drove away the darkness. At the same time, behind the angel of punishment Caroline, an illusory figure with 12 wings appeared. It was a 12-winged angel. The 12-winged angel phantom was nearly 20 meters tall. Like Caroline, it held the angel sword in its hand high. Then it slashed at the ground in front of it. A loud bang. The earth shook, and holy light splashed. The dazzling light instantly enveloped an area of 500 meters in radius. The scene was like a miniature nuclear bomb explosion. It was extremely terrifying. And when everything calmed down, there was no undead creature in this area, and they all turned into ashes. Kill thousands of undead creatures in one move. This is the ultimate move of the punishment angel Caroline, the judgment of the holy angel. After releasing the move, Caroline's delicate cheeks were a little pale, and the magic power in her body was too seriously consumed. However, she felt much better. No more blockage, no more stuffiness, and no more restlessness. And a few hundred meters away, a group of high-level undead creatures who survived by chance, such as skeleton lords, boss-level ghouls, rotten zombie leaders, etc. Seeing this exaggerated scene, they were so scared that they ran away. They didn't dare to get close to this punishment angel with serious violent tendencies. Chapter 145. The two six-winged angels were very excited and regarded it as an honor. At the same time, the other 7 six-winged angels of power, 3 six-winged angels of energy, and a full 134 winged angels in the hall also looked at Lin Yu with expectation. They all hoped to get the name given by Lin Yu. Seeing this, Lin Yu's little heart twitched. It was really difficult for him to name so many angels. Lin Yu said solemnly, "You must work hard and step into a higher level. One day in the future, if you can make great contributions to my territory, I will personally give you the glory you deserve. Before that, you should give yourself a name, praise you, the kind and loving Lord of Holy Light." All the angels were excited. Then, they got their names in no time. For them, it doesn't matter what the name is. What matters is the favor from the Lord of Holy Light. They secretly made up their minds to work hard, grow hard, and contribute to the territory. At that time, the Lord of Holy Light will pay more attention to and favor them. Go down, Lin Yu said to the 6 winged angels in front of him, "Lead your legion to participate in the war outside the territory. After the war is over, go to the spiritual field to practice." "Yes, Lord of Holy Light." The 6 winged angels obeyed the order respectfully. Then he left the Lord's hall with more than 104 winged angels. Soon, 13 angel legions soared into the sky, and thousands of holy angels shook their snow-white wings, and rushed towards the battlefield outside the territory. If nothing unexpected happens, their participation in the war will bring a catastrophe to the undead creatures in this area. Even if extraordinary undead come, they will be turned into bone slag. As of now, I already have 19 small-scale angel legions under my command. According to the summoning ratio plan of the floating island, for every 10 small angel legions, you can form a medium-sized angel legion and summon an 8-winged angel at the same time. After tonight, with 20 small angel legions, I can summon 2 8-winged angels. Lin Yu is looking forward to the upgrade of the territory level. When the territory is upgraded to a small town, the summoning authority of the 8-winged angel can be unlocked. Then, Lin Yu checked his personal information. Lin Yu, profession, Lord, level, late level 8, glory points, 4,600 points, reputation points, 22,500 points, territory, high-level village, unnamed, exclusive arms, angel, only, gold coins, 5,481. Now, there are nearly 10,000 angel armies, plus the various legions of the territory hunting outside. I estimate that my level will be able to break through to level 9 tonight. Level 9 is the highest level of ordinary professionals. Above level 9 is the king level. Looking at the entire floating island, king-level professionals can also be called strong. The top lords on the island have not yet reached level 5, and I will soon reach level 9, even if Lin Yu does nothing now. Recall all the legions under his command back to the territory, and do not hunt during the day or night. It would take about 1 or 2 weeks for those top lords to catch up with him in terms of level, which shows that he has left the lord professionals far behind. Although the lord does not need to participate in the war, but the level is also very important. After all, if the level cannot be improved, how can I become a god on the future? While talking to himself, Lin Yu looked at his glory points and reputation points. Reputation points are not very useful temporarily. Although according to the floating island, the higher the reputation point, the more it can attract the local intelligent creatures to surrender. But so far, Lin Yu has not encountered local creatures who actively surrender. The local creatures in the territory were all surrendered by the angels using the magic of faith. For now, the biggest use of reputation points is to establish a kingdom. To establish a kingdom, a minimum of 100,000 reputation points is required. In addition to reputation points, I now have 4,600 points of honor. If I go one step further and collect 5,000 points of honor, I can directly redeem the artifact Curse of the Lich King. However, people cannot live without pursuits. In the honor item menu, Curse of the Lich King is one of the cheapest artifacts. There are also many more powerful and more expensive artifacts. There are even exclusive artifacts of the Holy and Light factions. My current target is them. Collect enough honor points and take them down in one fell swoop. Lin Yu opened the Glory Contribution list. There are now 3 professionals on the list. The first place is naturally Lin Yu, who occupies the first place without any challenge with 4,900 points of glory. The list shows the total amount of glory points obtained, including the existing ones, plus the ones that have been used. The second place is the newly appeared Lord Professional. Her name is Xia Kengayu, with a glory value of 600 points, and the name of her territory is Dragon's Nest. As for Phoenix Village Chief Sikun Jun, he dropped to the 3rd place on the list with a glory value of 400 points. Xia Kengayu, it seems that she is the leader of Midsummer Night. Her territory is called Dragon's Nest. Then if nothing unexpected happens, Xia Kengayu's army is the same as the one revealed in the island chat channel, and it is very likely to be a frost dragon. Pure-blooded dragons are top predators in the middle and low-level planes. The bloodline level is extremely high. I think if the blood and bones of pure-blooded dragons are used to feed the black-bone blood vine, its growth potential should be able to be raised to the holy level. If you feed it more, it is not impossible to become a demigod. At this point, Lin Yu completely remembered the name Xia Kengayu. Turn off the honor contribution list. Lin Yu took Doris's delicate little hand and went to the 2nd floor. The affairs of the territory have basically been dealt with, and he needs to consolidate the extraordinary realm that this sexy and charming ancient elf has just been promoted to. Come to the bedroom on the second floor. The translucent black tulle dress on the ancient elf suddenly disappeared. Then, the two of them walked into the bathroom. This is a necessary procedure for consolidating the realm. Under the cover of night outside the territory, the battlefield is within a radius of 10,000 meters. An army of nearly 10,000 angels. Thousands of top-level soldiers, dark elves. There is also a ragtag army composed of goblins, grey dwarves, goblins, and forest trolls. All scattered in this area. At this moment, Lin Yu's territory army has already started a full-scale war with the undead army. There are fierce battle scenes everywhere. And every moment, a large number of undead creatures are killed by Lin Yu's territory army. At a glance, there are corpses within 10,000 meters. But the scene is not terrible. Because every area of the battlefield has the holy figure of angels, and the wings behind them are all emitting dazzling brilliance, dispelling all darkness and fear. Even the ragtag army of the territory is howling and rushing towards the undead creatures. They are in high spirits and their fighting spirit is soaring. Like a death squad, they dare to fight with demigods fight desperately. You can always see golden light falling from the void on the battlefield, covering the territory's troops. That is the vision of promotion. As the war continues and countless undead creatures are killed, the territory's troops under Lin Yu are also promoted to higher levels, and their combat effectiveness becomes stronger. The second floor of the Lord's Hall. Lin Yu fights harder and harder. Because just now, when he was exploring the elf forest in depth, a surge of original energy suddenly appeared in his body, strengthening his body in a very violent way. The magic power in his body also surged wildly. When the energy subsided and the pain dissipated, his level also reached level 9. The increase in level means that the body is stronger. Stronger physical fitness, more powerful fighting power. Under normal circumstances, he will never be the first to lose. The reason why it is called normal circumstances is because the opponent is, after all, an ancient great elf of the late extraordinary level, whose physical fitness, endurance and other aspects are not inferior to him at all. Even if he is promoted to level 9, he still needs to do his best. Only then can he completely conquer the opponent. Looking around, the two people embraced each other on the brocade quilt. At this time, a pair of butterfly-like wings emitting a faint golden light slowly extended from Doris's back, wrapping Lin Yu and her together. The war instantly entered a white-hot state. But it seems that this battle will not end easily before the moon sets in the west. Chapter 146. The next day. Shortly after the morning exercise, six-winged angel Eleanor walked into the bedroom with a carefully prepared breakfast. Her eyebrows trembled slightly. She smelled a strange smell floating in the air. But she didn't look away and put the breakfast on the table opposite the big bed. Then she served Lin Yu obediently to bathe and wash. From beginning to end, she didn't look at the ancient elf Doris who was sleeping in the quilt. Lin Yu didn't look embarrassed at all. After the incident yesterday morning, he was more casual in front of Elena. As for the morning exercise that just ended, I can only say that Doris became more sexy and attractive after evolving into an ancient great elf. Especially when her wings wrapped around the two of them, the stimulation was even stronger. Last night's battle also left Lin Yu a little unsatisfied with Elena's service. After finishing breakfast, Lin Yu went straight to the first floor of the Lord's Hall. Elena followed Lin Yu step by step like a caring little maid. My lord, Elena, who was walking behind, suddenly said, when we were practicing in the spiritual field yesterday, Angelica achieved the evolution of her bloodline and has now been promoted to the level of an 8-winged angel. There are also Yida, Sally, and Kiaozai. They have also evolved, breaking through the bloodline shackles of the 2-winged angel and becoming 4-winged angels. In terms of level, all three of them have reached the early stage of the extraordinary. Angelica has entered the late stage of the extraordinary. Lin Yu paused. His face was full of astonishment. What's going on? Either no evolution, or 4 evolutions in a row. Lin Yu was not very surprised by the evolution of Yida and the other 2. At most, it was a surprise. After all, the 3 of them were the first angels he summoned and the first to enter the spiritual field for practice. Now that they have achieved bloodline evolution and become 4-winged angels, Lin Yu is naturally very happy. He even hoped that the 3 of them, as well as Vina, Helen, Irene and other 2-winged angels, could grow to the level of 12-winged angels and lead a large-scale angel army. This is also Lin Yu's expectation for the first two winged angels who followed him. What surprised Lin Yu was Angelia's evolution. When she was first summoned, Angelia was a 4-winged angel. 2 nights ago, she had just evolved and became a 6-winged angel. Now, she has achieved blood evolution again. She has become an 8-winged angel. This makes Lin Yu feel very incredible. It seems that for Angelia, blood evolution is a very simple thing. At this time, an elegant and noble figure walked into the Lord's Hall. It was Angelia who gave Lin Yu a great surprise. The angel wings behind her have indeed become 4 pairs. However, her 4th pair of wings is not a substantial snow-white angel wings, but a pair of illusory flowing wings, interlaced with the other 3 pairs of angel wings. In other words, Angelia has 3 pairs of wings and a pair of light wings. Of course, this does not mean that there is something wrong with Angelia's evolution. But almost all angels are like this. As long as the status exceeds the limit of the 6-winged angel, the angel wings added behind it will become flowing wings, which are not substantial. For example, the 12-winged angel. It is 3 pairs of substantial snow-white angel wings, plus 3 pairs of dazzling flowing wings. Lin Yu looked at the noble Angelia and found that the 2 flowing wings behind her were wider than the other 3 pairs of angel wings, and there was always a sacred glow. Against the backdrop of this pair of flowing wings, Angelia also became more beautiful, elegant, and sacred. "My lord," coming closer, Angelica bowed respectfully to Lin Yu. She crossed her hands and placed them on her full chest, and lowered her head slightly when facing Lin Yu. Her attitude was as respectful as ever. Behind Lin Yu, Elena, a 6-winged angel, also bowed to Angelica and respectfully called her sir. This is a respectful title for angels of higher status. If the status difference is too large, then it is generally respectfully called Your Highness. For example, when a 6-winged angel faces a 12-winged angel, he will call it Your Highness to show respect. Its noble status and identity. Lin Yu smiled and raised his hand. After Angelica raised her beautiful face, Lin Yu asked, "Angelica, how did you do it? In addition to the evolutionary drawings, is there a shortcut to the evolution of blood?" This is what he cares about most. If there is a shortcut, Angelica can teach it to other angels. At that time, his more than 10,000 angels will be blessed. Angelica replied respectfully, reporting to the Lord of Holy Light, "There is a special substance in the space of the spiritual field that can enable living beings to achieve blood evolution. The reason why I was able to evolve once, it is because I can sense this substance, and I can absorb this substance autonomously, so I have more opportunities for evolution than other angels." Angelica is telling the truth. Lin Yu asked quickly, "Then do you have any way to help other angels absorb this special substance?" Angelia shook her head and said, "Unfortunately, my lord, this is not allowed by the world rules of the floating island. Only the rules that are strong enough to conquer this world can help other angels in this regard." This is also the truth. It is indeed a pity. Lin Yu sighed, and then said, "Does ruling the floating island mean conquering the world rules?" Angelia said, "The floating island and the world rules are not the same concept. You can regard the world rules as a creature that controls the floating island. If you find an opportunity to suppress it, it will listen to you." It sounds like a very distant goal, then let's talk about it later. Lin Yu didn't think about it anymore. Although it is a huge pity that he can't help other angels evolve. But Angelia's special ability of self-evolution is still something he should be happy about. Because he could imagine, with the help of this special ability, Angelica will definitely have the hope of being promoted to 12-winged angel in the future, and she doesn't even need the help of the army evolution blueprint. It can be said that Angelica is a growing angel. She deserves more care. At this time, Lin Yu glanced at Angelica's information panel. Her level has indeed soared to the late stage of transcendence. It's simply invincible. Lin Yu said, "Angelica, with your strength, you should be able to compete with the saint-level strongmen." "Yes, my lord," Angelica said, "I can kill the saint-level creatures with one sword." Her expression was very calm. There was a strong confidence. It seemed that in her eyes, the saint-level strongmen who controlled the power of the domain were like weak ants. They could be killed with the press of a finger. Lin Yu was very happy to hear this. Secretarian did not disappoint him, and was as reliable as he imagined. Chapter 147. The two of them were so busy that they had to face each other. "My lord," Angelia said to Lin Yu respectfully, "I request to go out hunting alone to find those extraordinary monsters and holy monsters hidden in the mountains and forests." "Okay," Lin Yu did not refuse. Angelia's strength has far exceeded any angel in the territory. The fallen angel Gladys, who has entered the extraordinary realm, is not her opponent. The ancient great elf Doris, who is also in the late extraordinary stage, is also no match for Angelia, who is already an 8-winged angel. Now Angelia can completely stand on her own. There is no need to follow the hunting team. Lin Yu asked, during the night battle last night, did anyone advance to the extraordinary realm? Elena behind him said, reporting to my lord, Commander Rene has set foot in the extraordinary realm. Lin Yu nodded. Counting, he already has 7 extraordinary realms under his command. They are the 8-winged angel Angelia, the 6-winged angel Rene, the 4-winged angel Aida, Sally, Qiaozai, the fallen angel Gladys, and the ancient great elf Doris. Then let Rene, Aida and the 4 angels form a hunting team. His original plan was to let Angelia and Rene lead a group of king-level angels to form a hunting team to hunt the extraordinary monsters in the mountains and forests. But now it seems the hunting team only needs Rene and 4 people. Angelia is a sharp knife, and killing holy monsters is not a problem. Since the fallen angels and the holy angels cannot coexist, Gladys and Silveria can only form a 2-person team and move freely. As for the ancient great elf Doris, she will continue to lead her dark elf army. My lord is wise. Angelica naturally obeyed Lin Yu's words. The 6-winged angel Elena, who stood behind Lin Yu like a maid, opened her bright lips and seemed to hesitate to say something. Lin Yu saw what Elena was thinking. After thinking about it, he nodded and said, you will also join the hunting team, but you must raise your level to the extraordinary level as soon as possible. Elena's level is the late king level. It's not far from being promoted to the extraordinary realm. After all, she also killed a large number of undead creatures last night. If the total experience bar from the late king level to the early extraordinary level is 1 million, then her experience value is now more than 700,000. Soon, they will be able to achieve a breakthrough in their realm. In addition, Rene and the other 4 are all war-type angels. They also need a divine angel like Elena to provide help. Yes, great lord of holy light, Elena was overjoyed. Compared to leading an angel army, what she wanted to do now was to raise her level. Yida, Sally, and Qiaozai were all lower in status than her. But they had already entered the extraordinary realm. And the ancient great elf lying on the bed had now reached the late stage of the extraordinary realm. She was naturally a little anxious. Lin Yu said to Elena and Angelica, then you can go out separately. Remember to pay attention to safety. Yes, my lord, the 2 beautiful angels saluted respectfully. Then they left the Lord's Hall and flew to the distant sky with their wings. The territory at this moment became empty again. The angel army of 10,000 people, the dark elf army, and the miscellaneous army of believers composed of local intelligent creatures, such as goblins and forest trolls, have all left the territory. Unless there are special circumstances, they will continue hunting until dusk before returning to the territory. As for the lunch issue, angels don't need to eat. The other territory troops have prepared dried meat. At worst, they can kill wild monsters and roast them. In addition, there are many gifts from nature in the jungle. Therefore, there is no need to worry about the territory's troops fighting wild monsters on an empty stomach. Lin Yu only needs to take care of the territory's affairs. He doesn't need to worry about the rest. Just as Lin Yu was counting the spoils of last night, a beautiful figure walked down from the 2nd floor. The sexy and charming body is faintly visible under the translucent black tulle skirt, and there is a pair of butterfly-like wings emitting a faint golden light behind her. The ancient great elf Doris, who just woke up. Don't sleep for a while, Lin Yu asked with a smile. No need. My lord. Doris shook her head quickly. She pursed her bright red lips. It seemed that she had thought of something. A blush suddenly appeared on her delicate and beautiful cheeks. The elf's iconic pointed ears were also pink. Without waiting for Lin Yu to speak, Doris quickly said, my lord, then I will go out hunting too, and strive to upgrade my level to the saint level as soon as possible. Go. Lin Yu nodded. The great elf was ambitious, so he naturally had no reason to refuse. After Doris left, Lin Yu continued to deal with the harvest from last night. First of all, the gold coins exploded more than 120,000 pieces. This was due to the large-scale expansion of angels. In addition, there were tens of thousands of believers of local races joining. The total number of territory troops participating in the battle last night exceeded 20,000, and they directly cleared out all the undead creatures within a radius of 10,000 meters. If it weren't for the fact that the floating island's monster refresh speed couldn't keep up, there would be more gold coins. The second is equipment, a total of more than 300 pieces. Angelica is a very considerate secretary, and she has sorted the equipment for Lin Yu. According to the level and quality of the equipment, they are placed separately. All Lin Yu has to do is to put them on the island trading platform. Finally, there are drawings and other items. There are more than 70 in total, but they are basically ordinary drawings. Lin Yu used all the wooden house drawings and arrow tower drawings, and the remaining drawings were of no use to him, so he also put them on the trading platform. In addition to the drawings, there are also more than a dozen light balls carrying a large number of souls, and 8 green packages containing spiritual rice seeds. Soul light balls are food for the demon plant immortal flower. They are gifts from wild monsters and the undead army, and can promote the growth of the immortal flower. Lin Yu plans to use them to feed the immortal flower later. But before that, he needs to use the gold coins he has harvested. Add the gold coins I left yesterday, I now have more than 127,800 gold coins, Lin Yu calculated. This amount of gold coins can summon 4 small angel armies at full strength. In the end, there are still more than 15,800 gold coins left. Without hesitation, Lin Yu immediately opened the summoning black hole and summoned 4 small angel armies. So far, the size of his angel army has officially exceeded 10,000. The total number of angels has reached more than 11,700. Praise you, great Lord of Holy Light. Densely packed angels gathered in the Lord's Hall and saluted Lin Yu respectfully. Their expressions were excited and their eyes were full of reverence. They expressed their fanatical belief in Lin Yu and their infinite loyalty. Yes, Lin Yu nodded. The 4 6-winged angels leading the 4 angel legions. 3 of them are power angels, and 1 is an angel of power. Adhering to the principle of first come first served, Lin Yu did not name them. He wanted to leave the limited names on the small notebook to the newly summoned special angels and the 8-winged angels. After all, there are not many in stock, so it can only be first come first served. Go out hunting, Lin Yu said to the beautiful and holy angels in front of him, no matter when and where, I will be with you, praise you, the Most High, may the Holy Lord be eternal. The angels were very excited. Soon, they withdrew from the Lord's Hall like a torrent with their vision of the future and their strong desire to fight against the enemy. Then they shook the angel wings behind them. They killed towards the distant wild world. Chapter 148. The more he looked at the angels flying to the distant sky, Lin Yu also showed a smile on his face. After this wave of summons, he had 23 small angel corps with full strength, which could be formed into 2 medium-sized angel corps. After the territory is upgraded to town, he can summon 2 8-winged angels at the same time. The most important thing is, he can now harvest a lot of gold coins every day. Whether it is hunting during the day or at night, or selling equipment made by blacksmith shop, he can harvest a lot and then summon a large number of angels. Perhaps when the town is upgraded, he can summon multiple 8-winged angels at a time. This is indeed something to be happy about. When passing through the territory square, you can see that in the southwest area of the territory, there are a large number of goblin believers, grey dwarf believers, and goblin believers, who are decomposing the bodies of wild monsters. Nowadays, the monster meat that Lin Yu harvests every day is also a huge number. Even if the number of his subjects has exceeded 30,000 in the short term, his territory will not have a problem of food shortage. In the eastern area, there are constant knocking sounds. That is the sound coming from the equipment furnace. On the roof of the blacksmith shop, there are billowing black smoke gushing out from the thick chimney, and it rises to the sky, forming a huge gray cloud. It can be seen from a long distance. If any professional team notices this abnormal gray cloud, they will definitely guess that Lin Yu's territory is below it. Of course, even at this point, it is not an easy task for them to reach Lin Yu's territory. Because around Lin Yu's territory, within a radius of nearly 100 kilometers, many areas have Lin Yu's army corps hunting. Only extremely lucky people can possibly pass through the cracks of those army corps. The northeastern area of the territory. The craftsman Angel Carol is building the Angel City, in full swing with 2,000 dark elves. Yesterday, the foundation of the Angel City was laid. Today's work is to build the 500-meter-high wall of the Angel City. The main construction of the Angel City is actually not difficult or complicated. As long as the various materials required are put into the plates outlined by the golden silk thread, Those materials will decompose and reassemble into pieces of hard bricks, and one piece is connected to another. In 2 or 3 days at most, the main body of the angel city can be built. The remaining angel divine pattern engraving is the most complicated. It not only consumes energy, but also consumes time. Those dark elf assistants knew nothing about the divine patterns of the angels. In addition, they did not master the power of holiness and light, so even if Carol taught them, they could not write it. This work can only be done by the craftsman angel Carol alone. It is precisely for this reason. Carol said before that if there were multiple craftsman angels to cooperate, she would not need 10 days to build such a small angel city. As usual, Lin Yu did not disturb Carol. He walked straight out of the territory and came to the spiritual field area. Then he communicated with Wanji Floating Island to upgrade the level of the spiritual field. Spirit field is now level 4. It takes 10,000 gold coins to upgrade to level 5. When Lin Yu summoned 4 angel legions just now, there were more than 10,000 gold coins left, which were used to upgrade the spirit field. Judging from the evolution of Aida, Sally, and Qiaozai, it is still very necessary to improve the level of spirit field. Especially as the number of angels under Lin Yu increases, improving the level of spirit field will enable more angels to achieve bloodline evolution. Of course, there are also dark elves. After the night hunt, the dark elves in the territory will also follow the angels into the spirit field to practice. This was approved by Lin Yu. Under Lin Yu's gaze, the spirit field began to vibrate. There was also a bright light covering the spirit field. It was not until a few minutes later that the light with mysterious power gradually dissipated. Upgrade successful. From the outside, the spirit field did not change at all. It is still 1 square meter long and 1 square meter wide, 100 meters. The space inside the spiritual field is still boundless and has no boundaries. The difference is that after the upgrade, the air in the spiritual field is fresher and sweeter, and you will feel like you are floating in the air with just one breath. Spiritual field, level 5, special attributes, the growth time of crops, pets, is reduced by 50%, the yield is doubled, and the mutation probability is 12%. Upgrade requirements: 30,000 gold coins. Note, level 5 spiritual fields can only grow grains from level 1 to 5. Level 5 spiritual fields, the probability of mutation and evolution has increased to 12%, not very low. The mutation probability of 12% is a very general concept. It does not mean that out of 100 angels, there will definitely be 12 angels who can achieve bloodline evolution. If you want to evolve, you still need to stay in the spiritual field for a long time to practice. The longer you practice, the more evolutionary substances will be integrated into the angel's body. When the integrated evolutionary substances accumulate to a certain level, the angels will be able to find an opportunity for evolution, and then the probability of successful evolution is 12%. Before the accumulation reaches a certain level, the probability of evolution is almost 0. This is why, although Lin Yu has so many angels under his command, only Aida, Sally, and Qiaozai achieved blood evolution with the help of spiritual field last night. Of course, Angelica is not included. Because she can actively absorb evolutionary substances, it is a bug in itself. My angels practice in the spiritual field every night. They will gradually accumulate evolutionary substances. I believe that soon, there will be a steady stream of angels who successfully achieve blood evolution. Although the success rate of 12% is not high, I have a large base. He now has more than 10,000 angels. When they find the opportunity to evolve one by one, I don't believe that there will still be only a few who succeed in evolving. If you are lucky, it is not impossible for hundreds of evolutionary angels to appear. In front of Lin Yu, there was a large field full of spiritual rice. Some of the spiritual rice was still green. Some had turned golden. That was the first batch of spiritual rice planted by Lin Yu, and it could be harvested tomorrow. Lin Yu opened the 8 green packages he brought one by one, and got a total of 80 shares of spiritual rice seeds. For every 10 shares of spiritual rice seeds planted, 10,000 units of spiritual rice could be harvested. Adding the increase of double the output of spiritual fields, it is 20,000 units. In other words, after planting these 80 shares of spiritual rice seeds, it only takes 3.5 days for him to harvest 160,000 units of spiritual rice. Adding the spiritual rice planted before, the harvest of spiritual rice will be even more. The total will exceed 300,000 units. Lin Yu looked at the golden rice in front of him and suddenly grinned. Tomorrow, I can eat rice. It has to be said that this is a happy and sad thing. Lin Yu, the most powerful lord professional and the famous master on the floating island, was in a good mood because he could eat rice. If this news spread, no one would believe it. But the problem is that this is the fact. From the time of his arrival until now, for so many days, Lin Yu's staple food has always been beast meat. 3 meals a day. Although Elena's cooking skills are getting better and better. But Lin Yu still feels sick of eating. If those combat professionals knew about it, they would definitely attack Lin Yu. They even have a problem with survival. Not to mention that like Lin Yu, angels serve him 3 meals a day. For them, such a life only exists in the beautiful dreams of the night world. Here, Lin Yu came to a corner of the area where immortal flower and black-bone blood vine were planted. The black-bone blood vine has grown to more than 8 meters high. A main trunk and countless thin branches like tentacles. It doesn't look like a vine-type demon plant at all. It looks more like a tall demon tree. In comparison, the immortal flower, which is only more than 1 meter high not far away, looks like a weed. However, in terms of the energy fluctuations emitted, the black-bone blood vine is far inferior to the immortal flower. In front of the immortal flower, it is still just a little brother. Lin Yu fed the immortal flower with a dozen solar balls he brought. After eating them up, the immortal flower grew up quickly. In the blink of an eye, it grew to more than 3 meters high. The remaining growth time has become less than 20 days. This is very fierce. On the side, the black-bone blood vine, eaten from morning to night, still has about 30 days to grow. This is because the quality of its food is not high. However, Lin Yu doesn't care much. A new generation replaces the old. His main focus now is the immortal flower. When the growth period is over, it can become a demon plant at the peak of the holy level. At that time, Lin Yu will sign a magic contract with it and integrate it into his body. The combat power will increase sharply, and it will be no problem to beat ordinary holy level strongmen. Chapter 149. After a brief interspecies emotional communication with the immortal flower, he left the spiritual field. But what Lin Yu didn't know was that after he left, the 2 demon plants were also communicating spiritually. The first was the immortal flower, who mocked the black-bone blood vine in a mean way. Little vine sister, did you see that? Although you came early, the master still likes me the most. You have been abandoned by the master. Impossible. The master still likes me, but he forgot to talk to me today. The black-bone blood vine angrily retorted to the immortal flower. The immortal flower shook its big head and giggled. Don't lie to yourself. As demon plants, we must also learn to accept reality. From now on, I, your sister, will follow the master to the battlefield of the 10,000 worlds, and you can only stay in this world to guard the gate for the master. Oh, that's not right. You are a small king-level demon plant, and you may not even be qualified to guard the gate. You are so hateful. The black-bone blood vine danced with countless thin branches. It was like a furious tree demon. Just when it was so angry that it wanted to whip the immortal flower, the body of the immortal flower suddenly swelled up, and in the blink of an eye it grew to dozens of meters high. It bared its teeth at the black-bone blood vine, like a supergiant carnivorous plant, and said jokingly, Little vine sister, do you want to disrespect your sister? Be careful that your sister will swallow you in one bite. The black-bone blood vine shuddered all over. The countless thin branches that extended out were also frightened and stiffened. The immortal flower hummed twice with pride, and returned to its original body of more than 3 meters high. In the extraordinary world, the weak must accept their fate. Resistance and unwillingness will only lead to faster death. The black-bone blood vine fell silent. It was unwilling. It was the master's first demon plant, and was cultivated vigorously by the master. It would never accept the fate of being abandoned by the master. Gradually, a strong bloodlight emanated from the roots of the black-bone blood vine, quickly spread to the trunk, and finally enveloped all its twigs and leaves. The immortal flower's big round face surrounded by a circle of petals froze in an instant. After stimulating it like this, little vine sister evolved. Demon plants are not divided into male and female, but they can decide their own gender and wait for the transformation in the future. Like Warcraft, demon plants can also transform into human form when they are promoted to the semi-god realm and master the power of the law. The angels and elves under Lin Yu are all beautiful female creatures. Therefore, The Immortal Flower and the Black-Bone Bloodvine also decided at the same time that if they had the opportunity to be promoted to demigods in the future, they would also transform into female forms, in order to avoid being discriminated against by their master's gender. I don't know how long it took. The rich bloodlight finally dissipated from the Black-Bone Bloodvine. Its appearance did not change much, but the magic fluctuations it exuded became stronger. It evolved. The Black-Bone Bloodvine danced with excitement. At this time, the Immortal Flower spoke again and mocked, "What are you happy about? Even if you evolve, you are just an extraordinary demon plant. And I, sister who am at the peak of the saint level." Before he finished speaking, the Black-Bone Bloodvine ran wild again, and bloodlight emerged. Seeing this, the Immortal Flower was immediately startled and shouted, "Don't be excited, stay calm, I'm joking with you." After much persuasion, the Black-Bone Bloodvine finally calmed down. The Immortal Flower did not dare to provoke again. Lin Yu was unaware of the battle in the spiritual field. He was practicing the advanced magic, fire dragon technique, in the square of the territory. In the sky, there were obvious clouds of fire gathering. That was the magic power of the fire element that was attracted. Below, there was a giant flaming dragon that was tens of meters long, hovering and wandering under the control of Lin Yu's spiritual consciousness, emitting powerful energy fluctuations. Fire Dragon Technique is an AoE skill. With one move, a radius of 100 meters is its attack range. At this stage, absolutely no professional can take on Lin Yu's move. Not bad, Lin Yu smiled. I like the feeling of mastering powerful power. No matter how strong the angel is, it is still an external force. Only being strong is the foundation. If I have the opportunity, I can learn more advanced skills, such as forbidden spell level elemental magic, Lord Professional different from other combat professionals. Combat professionals can only learn skills that match their profession. But Lord Professionals can learn any skills, including elementalist magic, knight combat skills, assassin invisibility, etc., until more than half of the magic power in the body was consumed. Lin Yu stopped. He took the linen towel handed by a dark elf and wiped the sweat from his forehead. Then he returned to the Lord's Hall. The more than 300 pieces of equipment and more than a dozen drawings sold in the morning have all been sold. The total harvest of gold coins is as much as 140,000. Compared with the equipment made by the blacksmith shop, these equipment harvested through hunting have a higher average level and a higher price. With the help of this gold coin, Lin Yu summoned 5 small-scale angel legions again. The total number of gold coins consumed. No more, no less, exactly 140,000. The only thing that made Lin Yu a little regretful was that among the 5 6-winged angels summoned this time, there were still no special angels and fallen angels, but there was one 6-winged angel of power. As usual, Lin Yu did not take out his naming notebook. He simply encouraged them and sent out these 5 reorganized angel legions. So far, the number of small angel legions under his command has reached 28. There are more than 14,000 angels in total. This is a very amazing increase. Since the blacksmith shop was upgraded to the intermediate level and more than 1,000 pieces of equipment were sold at one time, the number of angels under Lin Yu's command has skyrocketed. The speed of the snowball completely exceeded Lin Yu's imagination. But this is just the beginning. At the same time, in the wild world, a full-scale angel legion was scattered in the jungle with a radius of 100 kilometers. Their mission today, it is still to clear the local forces in the jungle. This task is urgent, because other Lord Professionals are also growing. When they grow up to be able to capture the local power base, they will start to compete with Lin Yu for such resources. Unlike the countless wild monsters, the number of local power bases is not large, and the less you capture, the less you have. Once they are captured by others, Lin Yu will lose a part of his honor and reputation. People are selfish, especially the limited and precious resources such as honor value, which must be grasped in your own hands as much as possible. If you want to exchange for higher quality artifacts, of course, Lin Yu has to act first. Chapter 150. The two of them were so busy that they had to face each other. Lady Pamela, below is a stronghold of a local force that is not weak. It is ruled by the forest trolls. In this tribal stronghold, there are about 7,000 forest trolls. Among them, the most powerful troll chief has the level of the late king level. Looking around, between the mountains there is a very large troll tribe. The scale is second only to the 2-headed demon tribe that was captured by the Angel Legion yesterday morning. The buildings of the tribe are basically built with large bluestones in the mountains and forests, giving people a very wild and ancient feeling. In the tribe, you can see a large number of forest trolls. All of them are fully armed, holding various giant weapons. Each forest troll is about 4 meters tall, and is more sturdy and strong than the two-headed demon, just like the giants in the legend. In fact, the trolls do have blood similar to that of the giants. Like the giants, they are all descendants of the titans from ancient times. Due to the long years that have passed, the trolls and giants have embarked on different evolutionary directions. They have even become different races. But if you trace the roots, the trolls and giants are both descendants of the titans. Therefore, they also regard the titans as their ancestors and believe in the great and supreme titan god. At this moment, the forest troll tribe has sounded the horn of war. In the tribe, all the forest trolls have gathered and armed themselves, looking at the angel legion standing hundreds of meters high with a vigilant look. The leader of this angel legion is the six-winged angel Pamela. A four-winged dark angel said to Pamela respectfully, "In the jungle nearby, there are several small local strongholds, all of which are composed of forest trolls. Obviously, this area is the ruling territory of the forest trolls. Other intelligent races around dare not set foot here. However, there are always exceptions. Look, Lin Yu's angel broke in. And it was a direct invasion, the kind that did not shy away. The total number of forest trolls in these tribes is more than 10,000, accept them all as believers. I believe my lord will be very happy. Your excellency is wise," the four-winged dark angel complimented. Then, she hesitated and said, "Lord Pamela, with the strength of our legion, it may be difficult to conquer these forest troll tribes at the same time. During the war, some forest trolls will definitely escape. Don't worry, I have a way." The six-winged angel Pamela waved her hand. Then she waved a staff in her hand, pouring a brilliant holy light into the void. The Lord said that firm faith can break the boundaries of time and space, accompanied by Pamela's extremely pious prayer. The brilliant holy light actually condensed into a huge light gate. The light gate was 50 meters high, attached with countless mysterious angel runes. The next moment, the light gate opened. Densely packed angels flew out from behind the door. It was a small angel army with full strength. Its leader was Caroline, the angel of punishment. She held the angel sword as wide as a sword and shield, took a look at the huge, forest troll tribe below, and immediately knew the purpose of Pamela summoning her. Then, the six-winged angel Pamela opened the time and space light gate again. Summoned two small angel armies with full strength. So far, there are 4 angel armies in this area. 4 six-winged angels. And more than 2,000 angels of all ranks. This divine art is one of the 3 core divine arts of the six-winged angels, the Gate of Holy Light, which is used to teleport friendly units in both directions. Shall we just charge in? The angel of punishment, Caroline, cast her eyes on the six-winged angel, Pamela. She looked excited and seemed a little impatient. However, Pamela shook her head and said, "Wait a moment, I still have one thing to do." As she spoke, she opened the Gate of Holy Light again. However, this time, what flew out from behind the door was no longer an angel, but a horn more than 1 meter long, the horn of the forest troll. Special Effect 1, Summon Trolls. Pamela held the horn in both hands and raised it high, and then blew the horn. Woo! 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 The sound of the horn was deep and long, and seemed to penetrate the soul. Soon, the sound of the horn spread to an area of tens of thousands of meters. When the horns of several forest troll tribes in the nearby mountains and forests were heard, all the forest trolls in the tribe went wild. They picked up their weapons at the same time. They roared and gathered in the direction of the angel army. Each one was like chicken blood. But looking at the expressions on their faces, it was obviously not anger, but extreme excitement, as if they had received the call of the peerless mother troll. However, the forest trolls in the tribe below were really angry, because they knew that the person blowing the horn was an alien. And the aliens were not worthy of blowing the horn of the forest trolls. Thousands of forest trolls in the tribe were all full of anger. At the same time, their combat effectiveness was also rising. This is the second special effect of Forest Troll Horn, War Inspiration. It can enhance the combat effectiveness of forest trolls. Just as the special mark of the 10,000 Worlds floating island, if an alien race blows the forest troll horn, the summoned forest trolls may be torn into pieces. Of course, this is not something the angel army needs to worry about. The purpose of the six-winged angel Pamela using the forest troll horn is to catch all the forest trolls in this area. After all, there are so many troll tribes. Isn't it a waste of time to attack them one by one? Half an hour later, more than 10,000 forest trolls have gathered in the tribe below. And those summoned forest trolls, after discovering that the summoner is not their own tribe, all turned from excitement to fury. Tens of thousands of angry eyes locked directly on the 4 angel legions standing high in the sky. At that moment, the will to fight, kill, and anger in the troll tribe surged to the extreme. The plan is successful. We can start now, Pamela said to the punishment angel Caroline and the other 2 summoned 6-winged angels. The army will rush in first and crush the will of those forest trolls, and then the 4-winged dark angel will take action to purify their evil souls. Okay, the 3 6-winged angels agreed. Then, the 4 angel legions attacked together. The mighty holy angels rushed into the troll tribe below from 4 directions. In the middle, countless thick arrows shot at them. There were also a lot of magic attacking them. However, these means of attack could not stop the angel army from advancing, and they were all shattered by the powerful angels. Humble creatures of the lower world accept the punishment of the divine power. The punishment angel Caroline was the most courageous. She was the first to rush into the troll tribe, roaring and releasing the angel combat skill, Light of the Holy Sword. A rain of swords fell. Hundreds of forest trolls were killed or injured immediately. Following behind, Patra also waved the staff in his hand again and released War Shackles, one of the 3 core divine arts of the 6-winged angel. The function of the War Shackles is to seal a battlefield area. It looks like a huge magic shield. At this time, it covered the entire forest troll tribe. As long as the shield is not broken, none of the more than 10,000 forest trolls in the tribe can escape. At the same time, in a jungle hundreds of meters away, a group of professionals appeared. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.